Right.
My initial thought was that there was some kind of weird cave or earthquake which somehow led me ending up to where I was. I shined my phone
This
up
should
at the
kill
ceiling,
me.
but saw only a rigid outline of the rocky walls. No fissure or gap I could have slid through, and thus my potential explanation went quick. My next thought was that I had been abducted by someone. I thought about yelling for help, but if that were true, then I doubted they would be likely to come to my aid. I realized an explanation in that moment was not nearly as important as getting out was. After wiggling back and forth a little bit, it was
Zachary. Hey, Zachary. What's up?
I pinned the phone around the corridor, using what sparse lighting it provided to try to formulate a plan. I caught a break when the light gleamed off some shiny metallic object only a few feet to my right. It was too far for my hand.
I got my finger fucked up.
So I extended my right foot out as much as I could. After struggling for a few minutes,
my fingers messed
managed
up.
to dig my heel down on top of it and drag it back towards me. I then managed to press it against the wall and move it vertical so I could reach it with my hand.
In the bed.
It was some sort of bent.
I only come on after a few drinks. That's Rumson going.
Possibly gotten down there, but I was nonetheless happy it had. After slowly wedging it into one of the roots, I managed to push it outwards and cause it to crack.
Yeah, that's Rumson going. In the bed. A heel.
A few of them broke away. Within
Oh,
a couple
my.
of moments, I managed to push my arm free.
I'm off work till next Monday. I can't do nothing.
Up and out of the hole I had created. Somehow, it was only then I remembered my phone was good for something besides shining a crappy light. I dialed 911, but no surprise, the call didn't go through. That seemed another confirmation that I was somewhere underground, but had no way of telling how far. I realized then, in all likelihood,
I might do a cooking video tomorrow. I might make some pancakes.
a.m.
That's what I might
been out in
do.
the cold for nearly 6
Pancakes
hours.
with chocolate chip.
I had most of the same clothes on. A pair of tan
Me love
cargo
chocolate chip
shorts and my running
pancakes.
shoes.
Me like it. I like it a lot.
University hoodie. After looking stagnant, and I shuddered as I rubbed the goosebumps on my exposed arms. Other than my thin layer of clothing, I also had my phone, Leatherman keys, a pack of gum, and chapstick. Not exactly
I'm slowly picking up on slang, what the young people use. Like NM means not much,
no howling,
and OVG means oh, very good.
Just silence.
I don't know it all. I don't know it all, but I'm slowly getting there. I know it's a nice bit.
Each footstep I took, I did so with the utmost caution that I was capable of. It felt as though every sense of my body.
NM is like never mind. NM, LOL, lots of laughs. OMG, oh my God.
Last look at the root system that had formerly imprisoned me.
BRB, be right back.
Struck me as I
NP, no problem.
Away. It almost looked like some sort of primitive cage.
Like I said, if you're gonna write any slang that I don't understand it, well, that's some that I haven't got to yet. But I know there's a bit of slang. Laugh my butt off. I know what to say, but I don't want to go saying the A word.
My eyes were met.
Same thing, but the only thing is I'm saying it proper way.
Difficult to tell. but it was clearly
Didn't
a
it say
much greater
LMFAO?
previous tunnel. In front
Laugh
of me was a
my
large pile of sticks and
beeping
dried grass,
A
similar to what I'd
off.
seen earlier. Beyond that,
Laugh
the road
my
came to a sort of arc that briefly narrowed
laugh
2 dozen yards ahead of
boy
me, before
effing
seeming to
butt
expand
off.
out again in the next chamber.
And
On
like
top of the stone arch was a
BITCH,
structure,
behind
almost resembling
Transcanada
a
Highway,
bridge that seemed to
like
connect two separate
BITCH
ledges,
stands for
some
something
30
else,
feet
right?
above me.
But
Above that, there appeared
BITCH
to be
also
another
stands
open
for
space.
Behind
Above the gap,
Transcanada Highway.
with proficient lighting.
I bet you guys didn't know that one.
I tiptoed into
How
the
many
first
of you
section
guys
the
didn't know
cave,
that one?
keeping my head on a swivel. I reached the pile of debris and decided to dig within it to see if there was anything useful. After finding a long stick, a
Truth
moment
now.
later,
Tell me truth.
an idea blossomed.
Whoever
in
heard
my
that
mind.
before?
I collected a few twigs and cut a long
Mm.
vertical strip off my belt with my pocket knife. I then removed both of my boots and socks. I fashioned the socks
Cool.
into a sort of pouch, stuffed them with grass and twigs, then slipped it over to the end of my stick. Once it seemed suitable enough, I took out a pack of gum and popped a piece in, while
Ooh,
cutting the wrapper in a way to make it one
look what
long
I got.
strand of foil. I bunched the foil into a cluster and popped the bag.
See what
into
Amanda
a
give me?
circle. I placed the torch
See the
end
bottle?
in a pile of brush, then moved the foil cluster beneath
Awesome,
it.
isn't it?
Carefully, I took the 2 ends of the stripped foil and pressed one on each side of the battery's terminals. In
Yeah.
seconds, the strand began to smoke, and then burst into a small flame in the brush. The flame
It's
took
pretty
to the
awesome.
grass,
I love it.
and I watched the crimson hue dance along the pile. Don't know what I would have done without that little trick. A second
Oh,
later,
loves
my
it. I
electric
like it
torch
a lot.
ignited. The flame grew stronger, shining further
Guys,
into the shadowy canopy
Best
around me.
movie me and
The
Amanda
panic
just
in my
watched.
mind
Oh
diminished
my
ever so
God.
slightly as the
Me and
orange glow
Amanda,
of
we
the
just
torch
watched an
painted
awesome
an
movie.
encouraging trail through the dark. As I
I
turned
forget
to
the
my
name of
right,
it. Oh my
the
God.
torch glinted off
Should be
something
on here
hung
now
near the
once.
wall.
I
It
think
caught
it's,
my eye. I thought for sure that I had seen it wrong, but as I got closer, a series of distinct shapes came into
on
view.
something.
On the porous gray rock, about
Yeah.
4 feet off the ground, were a series of cave paintings.
It's number 5
They started
in
low
Canada
and spread
on
out for at
Netflix.
least a dozen feet up the side of the wall. There
Number
were handfuls
5
of
movie
things depicted.
on
Most were a
Netflix.
little more than scrawny stick figure drawings of people, but there were a few animals as well. One scene that stood out from the others. 3 tall figures were drawn above a horizontal line, and another 3 shorter ones drawn
Good
below
W.
it.
Good night.
The way the scene was centered on the
Good
wall
night, Zachary.
didn't seem
How's your buddy?
significant, but I didn't understand why. The torch was burning quickly, so I maneuvered forward into the large open chamber beyond the archway. The fallen column above the arch appeared to bridge the gap between 2
New
rising
movies on
ledges, about
Netflix.
30 feet up. The way it was wedged
Good W.
made it
Good
look like it was
boy.
done intentionally, like someone carved it out of the rock. The roof of the cavern beyond the structure appeared to curl upwards, and I wondered whether there was more to see.
I want to
stepped
see if
beyond
I can
it
find a
and
movie
felt
for
my
you
jaw
guys.
nearly hit the floor as I got my answer. The room beyond the arch transitioned abruptly into an absolute colossal chamber that appeared to extend upwards for at least several hundred feet. Suddenly, it was bright enough to see without the torch, and I knew that light had been filling in from somewhere at the top. That realization provided hope, but
Oh
also
my God,
disbelief.
my mind. I can't
How
never
far
remember that
underground was
movie. I don't know why. I can't
the chamber
remember
branched
that
out at
movie
various
at all.
points into countless winding passages.
It's an awesome movie. I'm after watching it twice and I can't remember it.
Looking like enormous veins in a massive stone organ. In the center was a massive center.
It's about a guy chases a woman all over town
Many of the veins were
in
connected
a
to it,
truck, a pickup
making it
truck.
seem like some sort of anchor. Something then suddenly moved a couple hundred feet up. I didn't see what it was, but I heard pebbles scuffle and plunge from above. They hit the ground with thunderous clacks, sounding like popcorn popping through a megaphone. Not knowing what caused it, and not exactly yearning to find out, I ducked underneath the arch. I waited there for a minute or so, but I didn't hear any further noise. It was clear then I wasn't alone down there. A metallic gleam shone, then caught my attention from the brush pile in front of me. After looking closer, I recognized a distinct shape of a long barrel jutting from underneath
That's
the
ridiculous.
pile. Part of me couldn't believe what I was seeing, but as I got closer and pulled it out,
The hell was
things
the name
just
of
got
that
even
movie?
stranger. It was a musket, old school. It was in poor condition, and obviously wouldn't be suitable
Man
as
that pops in there the one shoe now.
except maybe as a vulgar club. But that wasn't what held my attention. If it was authentic, and judging from the advanced rust on the hide, it seemed like it could have been. Then it had to have been nearly 200 years old. After digging around a few more
something.
moments, I quickly stumbled upon other treasures.
Underwear?
An
No.
old leather belt,
Underwear.
a sneaker, a broken machete, a knapsack,
Unleashed?
and
No.
finally, a bone. I dropped it
Oh
as soon as
my
I
God,
realized
this is
what I was
ridiculous.
holding. It looked like a large thigh bone from an animal, probably a horse or a moose. An extremely worrying thought then entered
Movies
my
on
head,
Netflix.
one which sprouted goosebumps along my arms. I glanced around at the environment, seeing the large gathered pile of sticks and other things. The way the bundles were arranged made it look almost like it was some sort of nest. Even then, it seemed like a ridiculous notion. The pile was at least 30
But he
feet
looks like
in
John
diameter.
Goodman.
There's no
Trying to
creature on
remember
Earth
now the
that makes
name
a
of the
nest that big.
name of
At
that
least none
friggin'
that I know. I couldn't calm my nerves after that, though,
on the trailer.
and
I wonder.
decided to just continue trying to move upwards and reach the top, and more importantly, the light. Once past the pile, I found myself faced with a series of 3 branching tunnels. One of them appeared to slope downward, and after a moment of contemplation, I decided to just take the one on the far left that veered up.
Ooh, when me
My
and Amanda's
torch
gonna
began
watch
to dim, and I did
Escape
everything I
Room.
could to maintain the flame for as long as possible. My pockets soon
That's the
began
next
to
one
run
we're gonna
dry of
watch.
grass, and the
Tomorrow
cave
night we're gonna
once
watch
again
Escape
grew dark.
Room.
After a couple more seconds,
Guys, if I could find this
really
movie and show you,
nauseous,
this movie
once
is
again,
worth
I
watching.
found
Oh
myself
my
alone
God.
in the dark.
Best movie on
I
Netflix.
grabbed the cell
I'm
phone from my
serious.
pocket.
Hands
Inspired
down, best
later,
movie
everyone
I ever
had to go
seen.
back for more fuel. An awful stench then filled my nostrils, like the malaise of a polluted rolling tide.
Buddy
It
is
smelled like sewage and rotten
badass.
eggs. The scent became so overwhelming that I felt my
Yeah,
eyes begin
he's
to
fucking
water.
crazy.
Along with the noxious scent was an overwhelming sense of impending doom, like my olfactory senses had triggered some deep, primal fear hidden deep within my subconsciousness. I flipped open my phone and prayed my gut was wrong. The light from it barely made a difference, but it was enough to confirm my worst fear. I nearly dropped
I don't
the
know, we
phone
were
to the
set,
neckline
see?
as
I
a
don't know what to
decaying
look
hand
for.
became visible further down the corridor. Out of instinct, I took a step back and covered my mouth as I retched.
I
Unfortunately,
wish Amanda
there was
popped
no
in
real
because
choice
she
as
know
I
right
kept
away what the
proceeding.
name of it is.
I popped in a fresh piece of gum and prayed my eyes had deceived me as I stepped forward.
She
It was
pops
even
in there, I'll
worse
ask her.
than my imagination had built it up to be. Partially skeletonized hands and legs dangling, attached to a rotting thing against the wall. The head was missing entirely, and there was no indication.
Oh my God, that hurts.
My instincts were all but begging me to flee.
Look at the size of
I
finger
had
I
every
got on me.
intention of doing so too.
Holy
Until
moly,
I saw
that's
a small
small.
knapsack on the ground beside the
And it's
remains
cold.
on a
It
hunch.
feels cold compared to all the rest of my
And seeing how
fingers.
the person clearly no longer had any use for it, I decided to take it. Once I lunged it onto my
Oh,
back,
she's gonna
I said a
she's gonna
few parting
squirt.
words to the nameless. And
Oh,
moved
I
on.
thought it's gonna squirt
As
it
if
up.
it wasn't obvious before, that moment was when I truly realized the severity of my situation. Before that, I almost assured myself that me waking up there was some sort of mistake or odd coincidence. But after seeing that, I abandoned that rationale. Anxiety constricted my mind as I wonder whether I had been kidnapped by some perverse serial killer. After putting a significant distance between myself and the
Netflix
nameless,
movie
I knelt
list.
down and popped open the knapsack. Inside, I struck gold with a flashlight, a box
Red
of
dot, the
matches,
dig.
a half
Red dot, that's garbage.
a pack of granola bars,
That movie's
and a few
garbage.
magazines. Those were all welcome additions, but much to my surprise, there was nothing to identify who the person was or how they had gotten there. At least the flashlight still had some juice in it. I flicked the switch and then watched the flashlight sputter to life and blaze a trail through the passage. The tunnel was pretty unremarkable, appearing as just a long winding passage that led upward.
Where the fuck is
Ever
that
since
movie
the brush
to?
pile, I hadn't heard so much
My
as a
God,
single
my mind
guess
is not that bad, is it?
I never really
Sure
realized
hope it's
how
not.
comforting background noise was until I was forced to go without it. After a couple
Sure
more
hope I'm not
minutes of
losing my
walking
mind
in
already.
silence, I reached another open chamber. Two more branching passages lay further ahead and seemed to stretch in nearly opposing directions. One branched out left and one right, with both seeming to lead upwards. As I approached the two passages, then noticed
Sure
there
hope
was
I'm not
another
losing my
directly
mind.
above me on the ceiling. I looked up
Only
to see an
41
extended
years old.
chute stretching for countless feet above me. Even the light of the flashlight was not enough to illuminate its entire
That's
length.
crazy.
Obviously,
And I
had
can't
no means
remember
of
it.
traversing the vertical tunnel.
But the funny thing is, the way my mind works, for some reason, I just remember it like a flick of a finger.
In hopes it would lead
That's
to
the
a
way
higher
I
level
remember
of the cavern. Before I could enter one of them, though, my footsteps
I can't remember
disrupted a pile of pebbles and sent them skittering outwards
Another
across the ground.
fantasy,
I froze,
documentary,
cursing myself for
romance,
the noise
sci-fi.
and hoping nothing had been alerted by it. My mind was flooded with a torrent of catastrophic thoughts.
If I could show you this movie, seriously, go on Netflix and watch it. Oh my God.
In and of itself,
To keep you on your edge of your seat and your heart pounding from
the
start to
further I
finish.
went, the less likely it seemed, like the
It's
caves was a natural
unbelievable.
formation.
Best
The
movie
walls
I've
had
seen.
almost patterned groove marks.
I'm serious.
As if
I'm
someone
serious.
had
Best movie I've seen in years.
methodically dug them out.
Honestly.
The
I've
warning
seen a
signs
lot of
I had
movies,
been
and I say this
provided
and this
by
and
the
this,
apparent
but
nest from earlier. Maybe
this
this was the
movie,
den of some
no
massive,
joke, this
unknown
movie is
creature.
best
For
movie
some
I've seen in
reason, I thought
years.
of the giant spider from Lord of the Rings.
It's a type of movie you would want to watch,
I thought it would bring
and
any comfort
like you want to
whatsoever.
watch again and again and again.
Ridiculous, of course.
Oh
But
my
darkness
God.
and silence can play cruel tricks on the mind. I hope that's all it was, and I did my best to suppress them and continue. I dropped a piece of gum at the entrance of the
Excuse
next
me.
tunnel and continued walking. The idea was to use the glint on the shiny wrapper from the flashlight as a rudimentary map to help me find my way back to
Wouldn't
where
be
I
on their
started,
horror movies,
if
would
it
it?
came to that.
No.
The more I went, though, the more I doubted and hoped I would not have to resort to that tactic.
Nope, I don't know the name of
All
it.
sense of direction in that place was restricted to a
Put
bare
a
minimum.
lot of
As with
ice
even as
on it.
short as I
That
had
should
traveled,
bring
I
the
had no
swelling
real
down.
sense of where
I'll
I
be
was
keeping
in
ice on that all
relation to where I
day.
started. The tunnel
And
seemed to bend and
like,
twist like an enclosed
I got-
spiral staircase.
I went up to Shoppers Drug Mart and brought one of those.
Finally, as I rounded yet another bend, I saw a dull light breaching the other end.
The edge of that,
I
you can
bent
shave it
forward,
there. That's
and
fucking,
once more
that's,
the room
I can cut
elongated
myself with
into a
that.
massive open chamber.
I don't know why they
There
got
were
us so
some
goddamn
unusual
sharp.
items spread across the ground there as well. Splintered pieces of wood, along with a half-destroyed wooden chair. There was also scattering of copper-colored coins across the
Yeah.
ground.
But my nail is starting to turn purple and everything.
However, one item stood out right away.
Yeah. Like,
An
see,
old
like
rusted sword.
that pointer,
I
it
made
looks
my way
good.
over and
Down
managed
here,
to
it's starting to
inspect
turn
it on the
purple.
ground.
The
hilt
the
was
full
rounded
finger, it
and
looks like
rough
it's
with
turning
bronze,
purple.
And the metal blade had clearly seen.
Like Carboneer don't care about people.
It looked
They don't give a
authentic,
fuck.
like
They'll
the
go
rifle
on
from
in,
earlier.
X-ray, tell you what's wrong with it. That's it. Send you home. Give you medication. Here you go. Wish you good luck now. Get
I
better.
didn't think much about it in the moment.
I know it's nothing they can do about a
Just
broken
happy
finger,
to have a
but
weapon.
god damn, like
Hello.
maybe there's nerve. Maybe I got nerve damage done.
Breeze in the quiet of winter.
Seriously, maybe I got nerve damage. They don't think about that, but nerve damage don't show up in X-ray. See, only what I got my finger crushed. I know that.
Her vocal
I know I got my finger crushed, but Nerve damage don't show up. How can they check for nerve damage, guys?
Was haunting, and my instincts demanded.
How can they check for nerve damage?
I crept onward from the room and found myself once more entering the massive chamber from earlier, this time on a higher level. The cavern loomed large.
I don't know. How do you check for that?
And I felt as though I were a single ant in an alien termite colony. Down below, I heard the sounds of the girl whimpering, and I approached the ledge to try to spot her.
Oh, man!
The area beneath me was shrouded in shadow, and I saw nothing upon first glance. I debated upon turning my flashlight back on and shining it down.
Man, what's the name of that movie? I can't remember the name of it. Everybody wants to know the name of it. What was the name of that movie?
Waiting in the darkness to try to see.
Oh my God!
Her hushed sobs and frantic
Unhinged.
met my ears,
Unhinged.
but I couldn't.
Oh my God, guys, go watch the movie Unhinged. Me and Amanda, we just watched it. Whoa! Holy shit!
And suddenly morphed into
it's an awesome movie.
As a hooting, almost maniacal.
It's a really, really good movie. Oh my God, seriously. On Netflix, check out the movie Unhinged. Oh my God.
It disappeared in a split second.
It is best movie I've seen in years. I'm serious. Best movie I've seen in years.
Maybe it was a lure. I can't exactly say why that unmoving thought entered my mind, but I picked up the pace a bit from then on. I crossed a fallen column to reach a higher elevation of the ledge, sneaking glances down below.
Yeah, I got no work till next Monday.
Luckily, I managed to cross without incident, and kept maneuvering further into the convoluted cave system. Every path.
Oh my God, that's funny. First thing I looked at, a picture of a truck that looks like it. Yeah. Hey man, can you imagine me and you go north of Bay Sands, and we sees a gray Ford pickup truck come beyond us? Holy shit! Whoa! I would floor that fucking car to the max. They'll never catch me. No way. You.
Lunchbox with spoiled contents.
Yes, I got it. Yeah. I just done a quick scroll through, and I shut Facebook off, and I went on I'm on the YouTube there now.
Above where I had started. The room itself was a little more than a small, separate.
Make sure your dress is pretty warm too, because
I found truly interesting.
Who knows where else we're going to be hiking to. That's our first stop.
Hats and shoes.
Our first stop is going to be Northern Bay Sands. What we're going to be doing, we're going right on down to the end of it.
A fishing pole, a baseball hat, a deflated football.
We're going right down to the end of it. And what we're going to do when it comes back, we're going to go across. We're going across Arscatent and RC Light and that way and come out to Tilton.
It looked as though someone had been collecting all of them over the years. And some of the articles and items
don't worry about that.
Decades old.
If we get it, well, we'll just go for a run. That's all.
I was then struck by the epiphany that my suspiciously absent hoodie had also been red.
When you're supposed to get that day? When you're supposed to get that anyway?
It got me thinking.
Spend your spay forecast.
Maybe red was the reason I was there in the first place. Of course. I knew by then I was not alone in the cave.
Spend your spay forecast.
To arrive there by someone.
Here's the forecast for Spaniards Bay.
Maybe whatever had taken me didn't like red. Or maybe they were attracted to it.
How early? And who knows if it gets too much? We'll make it a movie day.
Led to another higher ledge.
We'll make it a movie day. Come on.
Incredibly steep.
Come on up. We'll make it a movie day.
There appeared to be no easy way up. And no other real path to follow. I could see it growing more luminous above.
Excuse me.
And knew the path was my only option.
Okay, nothing till 6. I'm up to 5 a.m. is nothing yet.
And parts of them crumbled as I grabbed. I moved slowly, trying to stay both alive and
9 p.m. I sees nothing yet.
The road was tough, but I pushed on. I was nearing the halfway point when something stopped me dead in my tracks. Somewhere far above, I heard the sounds of pebbles tumbling down the
Tuesday
cavern
afternoon.
I looked up and saw a dusty cloud of residents
12 p.
blossom off the cavern
The
wall.
fuck is this?
My eyes rapidly scanned the area above, but I didn't see anything
God
that
damn
could have
it.
caused it. I was just about to continue when I spotted something strange. The dull light.
See, we could be down there before that starts. I gotta laugh at people. Like, Amanda understands what I'm about to say. Like, Amanda understands what I'm about to say. Like, I gotta laugh at people. Like, you wouldn't know, like, when snow starts, you wouldn't know Armageddon's wrong.
It almost looked like something translucent was partially.
Like, seriously, you wouldn't know if it's gonna come down one big old blanket, like, bloop, that's it, okay, we're stuck. Like, god damn, man, slow down and you get anywhere that you want to go.
Once I hauled myself up, I peered back to look over the ledge and saw the chamber plunge.
You get anywhere you want to go, just slow the fuck down.
Nearing the top where the light was coming from. I just hoped that all the effort to get there would be worth it. The room beyond the ledge was yet another empty space, or at least I thought it was. Once inside, my flashlight gleamed off the walls and was illuminated by several
Amanda,
on the rock.
I don't know where your snow is at, but I'm up to 12 p.m. and it's sunny. +1.
I backed further away from the wall.
Oh, jeez.
At first, I saw only squiggles.
I'm not worried about tomorrow. My God. It's not supposed to start till 2 p.m. Holy shit.
The realization struck me then. It was a map. It was
2 p.m. Sure, we'll be way long.
I realized
like,
that the
if I'm thinking right, I say we'll be gone before 12. Amanda, I say I was going to wait till 12, but I say we'll be gone before then. I'll call you anyway.
That if this map was in any way accurate, then I hadn't seen anything yet.
I'll call you.
The colossal chamber I was currently in was only a tiny.
My God, sure it's sunny. It's sunny all day till 2 p.m. It's sunny right up to 2 p.m.
The ends of the portrait seemed to fizzle away, as if whoever had drawn it had not yet completed the entire thing. That realization was
yeah, I know, right? Like a big old joint, like blanket come over Newfoundland, like one big old right away. I gotta laugh at people. Holy fuck.
In the distance, and I decided to move towards the light as quickly as I could. According to the crude map, the way out of the labyrinth.
Sure, after that, after 2 p.m., then when it hit 6 p.m., then it's supposed to be raining. After that, it's all rain. +2, +3.
I advanced onto yet another tunnel and began.
+2, like
I could see the light.
Tuesday overnight. +2, 12 a.m.
Luckily, after rounding a few corners, I came face to face with just about the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen: the exit. The ceiling there were several partially transparent films of unknown material stretched over the holes. The light was gently beaming from above.
Oh.
I knew it had to be the way out. The only question was, how was I going to reach it?
Okie dokie, eggs and yoki. Okie dokie, eggs and yoki.
There were grooves on the side of the wall, and I thought I may use them to climb up.
Sure, Amanda, we can get something to eat on the way down, sure. Oh!
I was suddenly struck in the back.
Oh, I just thought about it. Where me and you is going, just a jungle gym's down there.
I crumbled to my knees and held where it had struck. I then heard.
I never had you down that far.
Scampering by me.
Seriously.
My eyes frantically darted around the room, but I did not see my assaulter anywhere.
Hunky dunk. Hunky pokey.
It didn't make any sense. A plume of dust was then disturbed above me.
Okie dokie, hunky funky.
It was the same odd, shimmering anomaly of light that I'd seen before. It was closer this time, perched just above me on the ceiling. It was different than before, though. There was a distinct shape to it. at least partially. Like it looked differently than the area around it. For
Guys,
instance,
I got something ordered off Wish.
just
I was
picture the
supposed to get it
pieces
today, but
of an
I didn't get it.
upgrade, and that's basically how it looked.
But remember, like
Actually close, or my
remember 4 live streams ago, I said I'm gonna shock all you guys.
and my heart dropped like a lead weight.
I am. I'm gonna shock all you guys. You guys are gonna be like, what the hell did he do to himself?
But it was hard to tell for certain.
I thought my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother-in-law, Amanda, don't even know. No one.
I realized then that the pattern of them almost looked like something inflicted.
Not even knowing at work. I never told no one what I'm doing to myself. I got something to order off Wish. Amanda can't even guess it. Guys, can you guys guess it?
Things fell silently once more, and I seized my chance. Freedom was only a simple.
Seriously, can you guys guess what I got ordered off Wish? And I'm gonna shock all you guys. I'm serious. I'm gonna shock the crap out of you guys. Holy moly.
Something suddenly slammed into my back. The impact causing
If you guys guess this right, I'll just be plain simple honest. I'll say yes, you're right. Or if you guess to something else and you're close, I'll say you're close. Okay? Let's have some fun. Come on, guys. Fuck's sake, man. Only Kimberly and Amanda's talking. Come on. All the rest of you guys are fucking dead, man. Come on. Talk.
I felt the thing slam into me.
Talk to each other on live. That's what it's there for. That's what live stream is there for, guys. Come on, have some fun. Pop in, start talking. Then again, the half of the people on there probably can't even read and write, like myself. I can read your comments, but some stuff I can't read, but a lot of stuff I can't write.
Slashing horizontally with the saber. I felt the
I must have upset one because I lost one view. That don't matter to me. Oh boy.
I can't even possibly describe the multi-layered cacophony this thing produced.
Like I said, I'm an honest guy. I'd say he said like it is, and my live stream is not made for sucky babies.
As if suddenly driven to utter madness by
like me or love me or hate me. It's your choice. I don't give a rat's ass what you do about me. I'm not there to please everybody. I'm here just to talk, give my 2 cents.
And the silence returned. It didn't last though.
Love me, hate me, or love me, like me, or hate me. Up to yourself.
It began as a chorus of hoots, grunts, and indistinct noises.
But I learned a lesson years ago. You can't please everybody. And it's true. You can't please everybody. You could build someone a castle, and they'll get you down on your back, and they'll shit in your face. Seriously, you can build someone a castle, and they'll shit in your face. You can give them $1 million, and they'll talk behind your back as soon as your back is turned.
Some sort of film material covering the hole, but luckily I was able to push through it. Daylight seared into my eyes as I plunged upwards and burst.
What am I saying right now? All I'm saying is just live your life to the fullest, one day at a time. That's all I'm saying.
For so long, there were boulders around me and trees in the distance.
I know people don't like me, and a lot of people likes me, but that's it. To each his own. That's why I look at it.
I kicked and fought back with all of the strength I had left.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
My fingernails cracked as I clung with all my might onto the ledge and kicked around.
Guys, what do you think I got ordered off Wish that I'm going to shock all you guys? What do you guys think?
My feet as the chorus of sounds wailed below.
You can check out Wish, the website.
Adrenaline had taken full control, and I galloped into a run. I didn't care where I was going. I just knew I had to get as far away from there as possible.
Wish,
I don't think I've ever
website.
run for so long in my life. I heard them follow behind me, and I knew if I stopped even for a moment, I was done for. It was dark.
Guys,
I finally saw smoke
it's far
wafting in
away
the
from
distance. With every
Guys, you heard what I just said. Which
I dashed towards it.
website?
The
Look
most
what I
beautiful
just looked
sight
up.
I'd ever seen came into
As
view
far away as
It's
most
simple
something, something,
I
something.
yelled out, hoping someone would hear my pleas and help me. Exhaustion and loss of fluid struck me then, and I collapsed within a few dozen yards of the home. My vision began to fade, but blurry outlines emerged from the cabin. Things went dark once again. The next thing I remember was waking up in the hospital, greeted by desperate expressions of family and
Subscribe
friends.
for
It was
less
all so
than $1
surreal.
per
They
week.
wept
Fuck
tears of
off! I'm not
joy,
subscribing. All I
thanking
want is
God
Wish
and others
website,
I had
and I'm getting up a
returned.
bunch of crap.
Part of me wondered whether all of the things I've related here today were just nightmares or vivid hallucinations
Wish
of some kind of trauma.
website.
But as soon as I saw the extent of my injuries, I knew
There
that
you
that wasn't
go.
possible. I had apparently been gone for nearly 24 hours when I was found. I was covered in
Nice
cuts.
stuff.
I had 3 broken ribs and a partially ruptured
$13
spine.
for that.
Many
Holy
of my
crap!
wounds had been stricken with infection,
Holy
and it took
fuck!
weeks
Look
for
at
them to
that.
heal.
$11 for
It
that.
was not a fun time.
Damn.
At least I was alive. The doctors and police thought my injuries were the result of an animal attack. They questioned me
Oh my
profusely,
God! Look at those
but I took
shorts.
the coward's
Ooh, I
orders.
like.
I didn't tell them much, only that I was hiking.
Ooh, I like them
finally attacked by
shorts.
something.
Look, I should order them. They're only $12.
I ended up in the cabin, which was nearly 15 miles
Look at
away
those
from
shorts.
the trail I had started on. But that detail didn't come up. It felt wrong.
Told you I told you I wasn't kidding. I told you, Amanda, I got the
I
website.
didn't even know if I could fully
That's
believe
why
this. Ever since that
I'm
day,
signed in there
I've
now.
exhausted every possible rational explanation, but they always.
Well, I'm under
The
clothes.
memories are
I
just
cook
too vivid.
men and women,
I
so I'm
still
looking for
don't
stuff for
know
you
exactly how it
too.
all happened, but I've learned a few things. After I got out of the hospital, I started doing some research on all
Oh,
sorts of
Amanda.
to try and see.
Oh my God, Amanda. Are you still on this?
For cases of mysterious disappearances.
I want to know because I gotta show you something.
Reported over the years.
Holy
with
crap.
many of them remaining unsolved.
Amanda,
I
are
don't
you
know
still
whether or
here?
not they were all victimized by the same thing I was, but I did notice
Holy
one particular
crap.
detail.
I'd love to ask
Many
that
of them
myself.
were reported to have been wearing a red article of clothing when they were declared missing. In nature, red is the color of danger. Many animals
I would love
have an innate
to have
fear
that
or
myself.
dislike the color. It makes sense when you think about it too. Oftentimes, venomous snakes and insects will be partially or entirely red in color. Many poisonous mushrooms and berries also follow this pattern. I'm not positive, but I do believe red has something to do with this. For what those things were,
You
I don't
like
really
it a
know.
lot.
I've considered everything from aliens to ghosts and interdimensional creatures, but I don't think anyone knows for sure.
God damn it,
There's
it's
a local
gone.
legend about beings
Fuck.
that supposedly live deep in the woods, hidden
All I
away
want to
from
do is
people.
click on a picture.
Indigenous folklore
See?
sounds a bit ridiculous.
But
Fairies,
I think, oh yeah, I give
nothing
back.
like the cutesy
Give back
Tinkerbell
at the
or cosmic
beginning.
Wanda. According to legend, they are subterranean creatures that stalk and drag their prey back to their burrows. A lot of them claim that they live near rocks
But
and boulders.
can I find it though?
Something which reminded me of the location
Might have
I
moved,
arrived
see?
at after first exiting the cave. I didn't really buy into this explanation until a friend of mine, who is a Native American, mentioned one particular detail. Apparently,
Okay, that's the
these beings are
shorts.
allergic to steel.
That's
That
that.
may
That's
explain what
the
happened to the
jogging
one
pants
that
with the A
attacked
in the
me
circle
after I
around
nicked
it.
it with that old saber. Maybe the steel of the blade caused it to have a reaction. As for the apparent ability to cloak themselves,
Ooh, here it is.
well, no one who I've told this account to, honestly.
Amanda,
has been
if you're
able to
still on
explain
there,
it.
let me know.
My same
I
friend
got something to
who told
show
me
you.
about the fairies.
And they sells
I never really
4
believed
different
them.
kinds.
They were just stories that his grandfather used to tell him as a kid. Both of us don't really know what to think now. Some people say that all the myths
9
and
styles they
superstitions are
sells.
rooted in something real, but the benign stories pass from generation and generation.
Oh my
by
God,
word
I
of
would
mouth, or spiced
love.
up and exaggerated upon, thus eventually leading to a folklore we tell each other around campfires. Maybe
I would love
the
to.
myth doesn't need to be exaggerated. Maybe the reason that the world scoffs at these stories
I'd like
is
to
because
buy you
the
that.
truth is very
Maybe I
good
will.
at hiding.
Well, it takes like
All of
fucking
this
months to
says,
get it.
trust me,
That's the worst thing.
every skeptical thought that has
Plus,
passed
I
through
hear
your
the
mind
snail
is
mail, but
probably something I
damn.
myself have considered at one point or another.
snail mail
Choose to
is
write this
beyond
out as
slow.
fiction, then it's your decision. Please don't wear red in the Appalachian woods or any other woods for that matter.
That's the old
You may not
finger.
believe
She's
it,
swollen
but
like.
never see the
Look at
things
that.
you have.
Oh,
And honestly, I hope you never do.
my finger is crushed.
But remember, when you're out
The
on
finger
a
is
trail
crushed.
in the middle of the woods, they will see you.
It's right
Don't
cold.
provoke them, because even if
My
you
finger is
survive,
cold, and the
you'll
nails
spend
start
most
to
of your
turn
life
purple and
knowing the
everything.
truth, that no
I
one will
crushed.
ever
I'm
fully
going to
believe.
use this finger as an example. I crushed the finger from, say, you know, that joint there, from there, all that is crushed. Not up there, all this from here down.
Years ago now, that I first
That's
met one of
why they
most
put the
interesting
brace
people
on,
I
like, say, from there down.
I also met him
They
in one of the most interesting
they
and
say there's no need
unexpected
putting
ways. I was out
the
hiking
brace
on a
on,
trail in
say,
Washington
from here
State.
down,
It was a
because
remote area,
I only
but one
squat
which
the
I was
finger,
very
say,
familiar with. On that
from
particular
here
day,
down. I
decided
crushed
to
it.
venture far beyond the
Basically,
hiking
like in a
trail
5-ton press.
for the
That's
sake
what
of
it is.
exploration. After some time,
Doctor looked
I
at
entered
me.
a
They said
tunnel
it's
road
one.
which led up to a local mountain.
Excuse me. The
Bright
doctor
with
looked at
open
me and
palm
said,
trees and serene.
one out of 1,000 chances.
I was also
Boy,
illuminated
you didn't
and
bust
felt
your
my
finger
soul
wide
change
open.
with every
That's
breath
what
of
they
fresh
all.
mountain air.
That's how they're
After
all like
probably 20
scratching their
minutes,
heads,
I was well
wondering
off the beaten
what
trail,
happened. Like,
and I found something worrying. I was about to take another step when I paused.
I say, enjoy your lovely trip.
Seeing a
Oh,
circle,
take it, Kimberly.
metal ring.
We
just
will.
behind a small
We will
tree.
enjoy our trip.
It was a good thing I didn't put my foot down, as the ring proved to be an improvised bear trap.
Man, that must be on.
What are you doing out here? A gruff male voice suddenly shouted from somewhere unseen. I looked around, trying to find the person who had spoken, when he chose to step forward and reveal himself. An older man sporting a long gray beard, then emerged from the brush.
I got something to show Amanda now on my phone. I might order the shirt. It's a shirt, but there's something on it. Holy crap.
Patched in multiple spots by mismatched fabric. His eyes burned like campfires, and his hands clutched
not
a
that.
bolt-action rifle, while his lip cradled a sizable
Get your mind in the gutter. It's nothing like that. They don't sell that anyway. They don't sell that on the. They don't sell that on the that website.
I was just hiking. Sorry, I didn't know anyone lived out here. The man seemed to silently inspect.
No, not that either. You sure I got that me drawer? I got that me drawer now. Fuck's sake! I don't need to buy that. I got holes in my underwear now with dicky bird holes. I got that very often. I go to buy underwear. I got those shit stains. I got those shit stains. That's one thing I don't have. I never has any brown stains like skid marks. They call them skid marks. I don't have nothing like that. But I do gotta say one thing. I got lots of holes in them, and the elastics on the groin area, and up where the elastic is. Up where the elastic is around the groin and around the ball area. She's getting pretty thin there now. Yeah, she's getting pretty thin there now. Oh boy. Yeah.
He slung the rifle over his shoulder.
I did once. So you did what? That's not my Jimbo. I did once.
My wife always says my sense of humor was a bit dark.
But you did once, Dan.
And he suddenly seemed less sinister than he had a moment ago. There was this sense of jubilance in his gaze, like he was genuinely happy to see.
Oh my God! Ew! Please tell me you was only young when you did it.
Good thing for the both of us.
I hope you was only young.
Major case of swamp.
Oh my God!
I can't imagine I'd taste too good. The man burst into laughter.
Oh my God!
And this time.
Oh my God! Living simply. Hey, living simply. God love your heart. God love you, Diggy Bird.
Formally introduced himself not long after as Mark Hastings. After conversing for a while.
Oh my God, Dan.
Particular area.
Dan, please don't tell me you made your woman clean that. Holy fuck. I hope you tried to clean up your bed sheets before you wash them. Oh my God. Oh my God. You're making me urge. Holy fuck.
A significant southern drawl. And yet, at times, also sounded as though he may have
that
had a
is
bit of British influence as well. He pronounced words like again,
I can't do a 360.
Again, and had a strange vocal inflection.
Earthworm. Ooh, cool. We got a new guy in the chat. Awesome, Earthworm. Never heard tell ya. Hey, everybody. Say hello to Earthworm. God love ya. Thanks for popping in, Earthworm.
But when his wife got sick with cancer,
I can't do a 360 because what I got right in front of me, the wall in front of me, is all my dirty pictures. So every now and then you see me looking upwards, left or right or up or down, looking at them. Behind me is my YouTube fan. That's my YouTube fans wall. That's what everybody, that's all my YouTube fans, what they give me. I'm serious. Look at that. That's hand drawn. That there is hand drawn. The picture, like somebody made the Gerry Lynch show Christmas ornament, and the picture, the Ouija board, on the dolls, the clock. I got a montage over there. Like I got a cool. We got a header doing in chat. No, Barry. Cool, man. Hey, welcome aboard. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat, guys. You guys are awesome. Now, this goes to the two new people. Like all my regular subscribers and the people bees on here all the time talking. They knows what I'm about to say. But Earthworm and Noah Berry, this is just a bit of info for you. It's nothing serious, but this website is for being nice to each other and no racial remarks. If you're gonna do any racial remarks, you are automatically banned and taken off chat. So, like I said, everybody else here be in chat. They all knows what to do. And like, if you can stay on chat, just talk to each other. Nicely, get to know each other, and use chat. Even you can even use chat as a dating site. I'm not gonna stop you. I will never stop you guys from doing that. All I ask is for one rule. One rule. That's it. One thing not to do. That's any racial remarks. That's it. I don't believe in that, so keep it off my chat, and we can have a good night. You can use chat for anything else in the world. Anything. You can use it to get to know each other. You can use it, say, maybe if you got family up away, you're concerned about and they can't use Facebook, but they can go on YouTube. Use it. Use the chat. Use away. That's why I like my chat, because a lot of people looks at me when I'm shopping and they all comes up to me. And they all say the same thing. I never heard one bad comment yet. Not one. And they all said, Gerry, you're amazing. Your chat is amazing. Like, I never seen this woman. I never heard tell this man before. And they seen aunts, they seen uncles on my chat. Like, that was like years and years doing this live stream. And they all said the same thing. Like, my God, it's unbelievable. Yeah, excuse me.
The cruel hands of fate. More than anything,
excuse me. Oh my God.
He hated the government. I think that's what made me like him the most. One night, he and I were drinking some of his homemade honey ale and chilling around his camp.
Oh, guys, a bit of more news for you. you just can't walk into the liquor store up to Bay Roberts no more. You gotta call in. You call in. You go up. Say you don't have to touch no doors. The security guard is there on the door, right? So all you gotta do is stand up in front of the door and tell them your name and tell them what you want. And if there's a line up, you go back to the end of the line up, and when you comes up, it'll say your name. It'll call your name, and you go in, and they'll have your liquor there. Say if you want lambs, right? If you want lambs, what's that? A 750 mil? If you want a 750 mil bottle of lambs, I don't know what that is. Is it a 24 ouncer? I think it's called. But if you goes up and order that, tell them I got a bottle of lambs and tell them your name, and they'll have it already. And you can't walk through the store no more up to Bay Roberts Liquor Store, but you can go up and order your stuff. You gotta call in. It's not a curbside pickup. It's not curbside pickup because curbside they'll bring it right out to your car. But you still gotta go in the store. But you only allow one person at a time.
When he found an actual puma corpse one morning.
You only allow one person at a time, right? Cool. 12 people in chat. Awesome, guys. Good work. Awesome.
But even that didn't last long. One night, as he was preparing to turn in,
lay off the sauce.
a rustling sound coming from within the forest.
You're tinning, my cock. Oh, my ears after tinning so much.
So he knew it. A figure emerged deeper into the woods.
Nose.
He said he didn't see the entire thing, but he could.
I got no ear out of my nose. It keeps all that trim. That's my beard, my mustache. I all going more. I don't like beard. That's it. I think that's as hairy as I ever had it.
Nothing like that thing.
That is about as hairy as I got it.
After seeing that, he admitted that he didn't think that would have been a good idea. The creature dropped on the
go up and ask for the jury special. Yeah.
The thing's head then tilted and
Ring.
Stared directly towards Mark. They just
that's Lucifer on the side. His horns comes up, wraps around Star Davis, and comes back right here again. I don't believe in God, I believe in Satan. But, that's my beliefs. That's my beliefs, like you guys got your own beliefs. I'm not gonna judge anybody here in chat. I don't do that. Whatever you guys want to believe in, that's what you believes in. That's what I just said, Star Davis.
But I wasn't so sure about that. I asked him about the typical creatures seen in creepypastas.
What I like about Satan, Satan got no laws, everything goes, and it's nice and warm down there.
And some of the well-known others. But Mark didn't seem to know anything about any of them.
I got something to talk about that. Someone changed my mind. Someone's after changing my mind. Woke me up a lot. Not yet. Not here on live.
It would start off as a little more than a dull, barely audible noise in the distance. He said at times it would come closer, and at others it seemed like it was further away.
Let's check it up.
Mark thought it was a bird for the longest time. But one night,
the Star of Davis.
He was chopping wood when suddenly the whistling noise emerged.
According to Wikipedia, the Star of David, known in Hebrew as the Shield of David or Magen David, is a generally recognized symbol of modern Jewish identity and Judaism.
So, buddy, you're wrong. That is the star. I just Google it. You can't fool Google. Well, you're going to argue with me and Google too? Might as well contact Wikipedia too and argue with them.
Mark described it as kind of huge, with a head that looked like some messed up eel. He said he saw the thing stare down at him with beady eyes. He just froze. And before he could do anything...
It is. That's the same one, but it's all different. It's different.
It crashed into another, further
It's
away,
just different.
and
That's
continued
all.
whistling and crashing as it blended into the depths of the woods.
Look at it.
I didn't know what to say to that. I have heard legends about the whistlers.
You can't tell me that's not the same.
But I've never heard about anyone actually seeing one of them. The way he described it sounded quite creative.
Well,
And I wondered whether he
look
was
me up on
actually
Facebook and send me some information what you're trying to say. Send me a picture.
I asked him whether he thought this whistler was the same creature that was leaving him items, but he just shook his head. Without being prompted, he told me
Oh, I
another
see,
tale
my
of
bad.
hearing voices in the woods. sometimes.
Yeah, I kind of figured that.
That of the
I kind of figured you're bad. My God, like you can't. Is that on Wikipedia? Is that on like Google? Like, look at it, Star Davis.
I obviously didn't tell him that, but his claims had to be met with some
Oh,
amount of.
it's all the same.
What
Like,
do you think it was?
yeah.
Mark leaned back, and his head swiveled on his shoulder.
Have you seen Chocolate Man in stream lately?
Hopes I never find out.
Uh,
He went on to
I
explain that
don't
he
want to
continued to hear
say.
voices on occasion.
I don't want to say what he said, but I had to block him. I usually remove you, but when you're being so very, very aggressive against other people and against me, I will block you. That means when you block someone on YouTube, that means like they can't come back the next live stream or the next or they can never come back. They can never come back.
That were up to some really shady antics.
Well, Gerry, it's
They
not
said they knew
answering
about
me.
gates in the forest,
So, see
and had been
you.
actively trying to open them.
See you, everyone.
He didn't.
What are you asking me anyway?
Meant by that. You see them out here?
Well, I just answered you, but Chocolate Man.
CIA. Mark looked confused.
See you, White Dot.
He asked.
Good night. Stay safe.
Why was
Stay
my
clean.
confused then? Yeah.
Oh,
Central
man.
Intelligence Agency.
Oh,
Men in Black. Mark still appeared slightly puzzled. I didn't understand.
I miss his cracking this finger.
Had apparently never heard of another of
I do not want to crack that fingernail. Oh, my God.
He then seemed to have an epiphany, and his eyes lit up in recognition. Oh yeah, I forgot about them. He then laughed and shook
Yeah,
his
I'm
head
hiding
and
that.
another swig of ale.
I'm not showing that on my
memory
live.
Ain't what it used to be, I'm afraid. Dang, how could I forget them?
Your message was hidden by Gerry Lynch.
They don't carry no badges, and their vehicles don't exactly advertise who they work for. He paused and rubbed the back
What do
of
you
his
know,
head.
that a pleasure woman? You're just trying to get a rise out of me.
Mark met my eyes, and nodded, without a doubt. Mark told me that one.
I know, I picked it that fast. I broke my finger and went up and down that fast.
When suddenly he heard a noise coming from a grove.
Yeah. No, living simply, I crushed my finger in a wood splitter. Seriously.
Taking care not to
5 tons of pressure on that finger. I never, it's not split, it's not broke, it's crushed. A crushed finger is worse than, worst thing you could do to yourself is crush them, like basically it crushed my bones and everything. It just all gotta,
They didn't appear to be the forgiving type.
it all gotta grow back normally.
Quietly to one another, while the other two stood over to watch their apparent captive. The man on his knees was dressed in white.
Pick my nose.
Describing
Oh, buddy, look at that. Woo! Pick me nose, pick me nose. Hey, somebody, they got a fake YouTube account, Chocolate Man.
He listened, but couldn't make out what the two other men were talking about. But they were clearly arguing. The man on his knees appeared to be weeping softly.
Because I know the real Chocolate Man, unless this here is the real Chocolate Man, and I blocked the fake Chocolate Man.
Who had previously been arguing.
I hope you're the real Chocolate Man.
Without a word, the man stepped behind
'Cause
the captive, lifted
Chocolate Man, I got something to ask you.
Mark described
I got something to tell you. I got someone, it's just by coincidence. I can go on my block. I can go on block on the
I said.
I can go on blocked on YouTube, and I got Chocolate Man blocked on YouTube. So I hope you're the real one.
See any aura of boasting in his eyes. They didn't twinkle like that of a man who
But that's
tries
good,
to
Chocolate
complicate a
Man.
story to simply amaze or impress an audience.
That's good, me buddy. Well, I'm gonna give you a heads up. I'm gonna give you a heads up, Chocolate Man. There is someone else. There was someone else trying to pretend that they was you, and they even had your same picture. Seriously. Excuse me. They even had your same picture and your same name and everything. Excuse me.
I just stay quiet.
How's Granny doing? Oh my God, Granny's off her meds. I'll put you in the ground. I gotta
tell you a secret. He looked me in the
eye. I'll put you in the what?
Particularly care for the government.
Grant. I can't pronounce it. I got a first
I think you've mentioned that once or twice. I replied with a laugh. Yeah, I suppose I.
I can't. I got a reading writing problem. Reading and writing problem, so I can't. No, I don't know what you're saying, Gerry. I'll put you in the ground.
It takes what it wants and destroys those who oppose.
Is that an insult?
Ain't no justice.
Or it's just carrying on.
Consideration and nothing you can do about
I
it.
don't know what you means.
Details of what they were discussing on that night.
Okay, Chocolate Man, I believe you.
That boy didn't deserve what he got. I nodded, but wasn't entirely convinced that he witnessed what he thought he had. You sure the government that did that? Could have been drug dealers or mafia. Mark hunched his shoulders, gave me a side chuckle.
Oh, my.
What's the difference? I chuckled, but didn't have a response. Well, I see why you think that. But that's because you ain't spent as much time.
Oh man!
And what no one is supposed to know is about the tunnels.
Okay, Noah Berry.
Tunnels? Mark grinned and nodded back. There are a series of tunnels that run deep below the earth.
Alright, I'm gonna go watch the paint dry. Hey, paint dry? Nothing wrong with watching paint dry. My God. I love watching paint dry. Look at it. Look. Ooh, amazing. Ooh, yeah, paint dry.
Mark scoffed and shook his head. I have no idea, but it's something bad.
Oh, my.
I was disappointed.
Kimberly.
But Mark immediately drew my curiosity back. You want to see one of them?
Chatting with my
I nodded without really
best friend living homestead. Cool.
I figured you might.
Kimberly is a good friend.
It's a bit late in the day to go.
She's awesome. I know her from Ascension Collegian. We went together in Ascension Collegian. I think she was.
I promised to return next morning.
Me and Kimberly, I think we're about the same age. I think we're about the same age.
As I mentioned, I liked Mark very much and enjoyed our conversations.
You are a good friend, White Dot.
Like a compassionate grandfather with a plethora of exuberant stories that may or may not have been slightly exaggerated. I thought about all he had told me, about the found animals,
hey,
and the whistle,
Dirt Mike,
the voices
and the boys.
I wanted to believe him, but urban legends abound in our day and age. I was still well aware that perhaps he had.
Know what you should have called yourself? You should have called yourself Dirt Bike. Dirt Bike and the boys. That would have been a fucking awesome YouTube channel name. Because I bet you would have got so many YouTube, like you would have got so many views, man. Holy crap.
Before long, I arrived at.
I don't know Neil Morgan. I got nothing to say about him.
And found him already waiting there for
so, if you thoughts on Neil Morgan, I got nothing to say about the man. I don't know about him. I don't know. I'm no good on names.
Mostly about normal
I am no good with names.
Family and work. After maybe 15
maybe everybody in chat knows him, but I don't know what.
Mark stepped out in front of a tree to face me. He then grinned and outstretched his right hand. I followed his gesture and felt my jaw strike the floor. There was an opening in the side of the hill that was lined
Tip
with
to grow
stone
more
bricks.
hair.
It was
Use
quite
hair,
enormous,
skin, and
with the
nails.
perimeter having been at least 15 feet wide. The opening appeared collapsed.
He's
and
the
entrance
guy who
filled with
was
rubble and
being
dirt,
what?
looking as though someone had
Sure,
intentionally
that
yet
I-
clumsily sealed it. Is that the tunnel? I asked. Mark nodded. One of many.
I can't
It wasn't
remember it.
sealed up like this last time I was here. How long ago was that?
Oh,
I
him.
shrugged. Don't know.
Oh, him.
Maybe a year or two.
I can't. I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember it.
It was clear that someone.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's an awesome guy.
Construction didn't
He
look like a
correct
minor
that. He's an awesome guy. He's not a good guy.
mining or anything.
He's an awesome guy. I'm gonna give him thumbs up. No, I'm gonna give him
Such a wide entrance.
2 thumbs
Maybe
up.
I'm wrong about that. But the more
Yeah.
curious fact was
Yeah, he's
why
an awesome
it
guy,
was
man.
up.
Seriously.
I thought maybe it was just vandals. But that explanation somehow didn't satisfy me. What's inside? I asked. Mark paused for a moment and stared toward the wreckage. He then shook his head.
That's all I got left.
Dirt,
That's all.
bad things. I hoped he'd elaborate on that.
I'll have more tomorrow.
I mean,
I
it
get
happened
more and
for
more.
someone to seal it up
Oh,
like
yeah.
that, right? And that's impressive.
Holy
It's
fuck,
taken a
that's a
great
strong
deal of
one.
effort. He was right about that, but I still felt that there was information that he was.
Not much, Neil. Matt, a few drinks. Trying to kill the pain.
Mark nodded. Not a single doubt in my mind about it. Mark's head then suddenly flicked to the side, and he stared into the trees.
Not much, Neil, me old bro.
I watched the color drain from his cheeks.
What's the coincidence? We was just talking about you.
I shouldn't go.
Well, people in chat was talking about you.
I didn't argue, as clearly something had spooked him. He and I trekked back to his cabin, checking
Yeah.
his snares on the way back.
You, me old buddy, you're a good man.
In his traps, and after, swiftly slung them over his shoulder. We got back to his cabin. And
Listen, Neil, listen to me. You would not want to feel what I'm going through right now. I wouldn't wish that on you. I wouldn't wish it on you. I wouldn't wish it on no one here in
I
chat.
think I ever told you the scariest part about
I'm serious. I wouldn't wish it on no one. I'd rather take it all to pay myself. And you guys feel nothing. That's how much I love you guys, man. And the women who's watching.
Along with the clump of chopped vegetables. He dumped the plate into the simmering cauldron on the fire, then took a seat across the fire. I stayed silent as he stared down at the flickering flames, deep in thought. There are things out there that people don't know about. Creatures.
Black Dot, hey Jerry, I have returned. Cool. Hey, Black Dot.
The advancement of society and technology has led people to believe they're safe. And for the most part, they're right. So as long as they stay out of the woods, those things can't get them. But there is something that can. Mark paused and looked me straight in the eye. I call it
Take you, Neil.
silence. He paused, as if to allow the words to immaculate the dread he felt they deserved. I had an inkling of an idea where the conversation was headed, but just waited for him to explain. There's been rumors about it for a very long time, and it's something.
See, guys, this is what I like to see. I like to see you guys talking to each other too. You guys ain't always got to be talking about me. Living simply and Kimberly is having a conversation.
Well, no one would ever
Living simply and Kimberly is having a conversation. That's what I like to see. I like seeing that. I like seeing you guys like talking to each other. And you can talk to me, but you can talk to each other too.
And it happens again.
The live stream is for everybody, guys.
Then suddenly grunted and began rubbing his eye.
Honestly, the live stream is open up for everybody. Not only me. I don't care if he pops in. Now listen to me, guys, seriously. I don't care if he pops in and never talks to me. I don't care if he just talks to each other. It don't bother me. As long as he follows by my one law. No racial remarks. That's it. If you guys are going to say that shit, I'll remove you. But go ahead. Talk to each other. I love seeing that. And that brings joy. Seriously, that brings joy to me. Like seeing you guys actually talking to each other and like using the chat the way chat's supposed to be used.
I was to drop to my knees.
Honestly.
The dirt immediately. He said to stay that way until the sounds return to normal. And what if sound doesn't come back? I asked.
Yeah, that's the way live stream is. That's the way live stream is supposed to be used.
Nothing of comfort. Then God help you.
Seeing Living Simply and Kimberly talk to each other, that makes my night. Seriously, that is making my night. Yeah. Talk to each other, to get to know each other. Maybe Living Simply got a woman and Kimberly got a man. And maybe you guys want to talk to each other, get to know. Maybe all four of you guys want to meet up one of these days and talk to each other. And like, who knows? Maybe you guys got stuff in common. Like, maybe you guys got stuff in common and stuff. It's awesome. Like me and Living Simply, we got stuff in common. Me and Living Simply, like. We both like hunt. We both like camping outside. We both like hunting and stuff like that. But the only thing is, I'm after explaining to Living Simply. If you're gonna do a hunting video, that's not a very good thing to put. If you want to keep good standards and press YouTube, do not put a hunting video showing killing animals, like hunting animals. Don't put that. No way. Seriously.
Truth is, some of the things
I got more here. Hey, I say you do, but look at your videos. Oh my God. Give me probably what?
Just curious.
I say 2 more years, I'll be completely bald. That's soon going. I'm soon shaving that. That don't look right.
Ever since your brothers took up arms against one another in the war of gray and blue, your curiosity has been quite insatiable.
Okay, buddy, you gotta go.
Belongs to you. Like this country is your own personal proving grounds to pillage and destroy as you please. His form seemed to shift.
Buddy, you gotta go. That's zero tolerance for that crap. So somebody here in chat must be making up a fake account. Sure, so I'm here.
Flowing like a clump of wild eels. He leaned forward.
See?
In a look.
It only takes me 2 seconds to block you.
There are things
and it takes you longer to make up a fake account, so why go through the trouble to make up fake accounts like that?
He and I just stared at one another, and I felt my heart beating. I thought about his words, the war of gray and blue. Could he have been referring to the American Civil War? Why reference that event specifically? What year did you say you moved out here?
I'm even going to report you, too, because...
Mark grinned, now appearing more menacing than ever before. 96. 1896.
There you go. I reported that because
shaking my head.
I'm not having that's zero.
His voice has suddenly changed.
A zero tolerance for that in my chat. Hell no.
His head moved to the side, and his grin grew almost literally ear to ear as his mouth stretched impossibly wide. Your kind has conquered this world. Both beast and nature bow to your might. You live in comfort, convinced that there is nothing that can get you anymore. His voice began changing again. But you are wrong. Mark then stood.
I know, I got him gone, White Dot.
Making him tower over me and the camp.
I got him gone, White Dot.
Even Daisy and Rowley.
See, guys, I don't want to say this, but
simply hiding their true
I can read people's minds.
Got up and backed away.
When stuff happens like that, I can read people's minds.
I had thought him to be.
I'm thinking,
I thought that moved me.
it's only me
My
thinking.
right, and that
I'm
the
not
beast that
pointing.
hid itself
I'm
in the
not pointing to
mouth
anybody,
was
but
prepared to devour me whole.
I'm thinking
Before
some
he
people
did,
here,
I had one final
people
question
here
I
in
had to
chat,
ask.
knows what I'm
Where are
talking
you?
about,
Mark chuckled.
and they goes to make a
His
fake
voice
account,
continuing to
and
grow
then they
closer
goes
to
and
him.
tries to get a rise from me.
Wrong question.
Seriously,
His words
then he
echoed
tries to
forth,
get a
something like
rise
chords of
from me.
1,000 voices all in unison.
But I'm
I
thinking
took
I'm
another
right.
step
I'm
back,
thinking I'm right on the
wondering
money
what he
too.
could have meant by that.
People
Then
here
it
in
struck
chat
me.
thinking
What do
like,
you want?
okay, he said
His
this, so I'm
big
gonna
eyes
make
red
up a
as
fake
mine
account,
stared
call it
down at
this,
me with an
and
inquiring human gaze.
see what he's gonna do.
To watch and
But
protect.
I got news for you. It didn't upset
I
me.
attempted to understand
It was
what
racial,
happening.
but I reported your
After all
ass.
he had told me, and his time devoted to actually speaking with me. Part of me almost wanted
Yeah.
to believe his words were meant to reassure me, like he was conveying that it was me, or more
And who
generally
knows?
humanity as a whole.
Maybe it's one of you guys making that shit up.
After
I don't
ruminating
know.
on it for a while,
I don't know.
Why are you telling me all this? The thing I had
Guys,
known as Mark grinned.
Everybody
I think
go.
that was the question he was waiting
Everybody
to
go. Subscribe to Living
so you can
Simply.
tell the world.
Everybody
So,
go. Subscribe
I
to
thought,
Living
I
Simply.
left
He's an
Mark in that
awesome
chair
man.
behind.
He does
I had not been back
awesome
since.
videos.
That's why I'm here now, to tell the world, as that thing I once knew as Mark instructed me to. I don't even know why, or what exactly I'm supposed to be telling.
Good night, hello, Kitty. Good night, hello, Kitty. Loves ya. Cuddle into your boyfriend, Dan Clark. Hello, Kitty and Dan Clark. Your boyfriend and girlfriend. Or probably... I know you're together. I know you're together because I kind of pick up on that when... I kind of picked up on that probably 6 live streams ago. So I did pick up on that. Now, Dan, don't do what I wouldn't do. Oh my God. Hello, Kitty. If you're watching, take it easy on Dan Clark. Oh my, oh my. I want to joke with you, buddy. I love you. I love 2 of you. If you're watching, hello, Kitty and Dan Clark. I love 2 of you. Seriously, you means a lot to me. And you got a place right here, buddy. I hope you hears that, Dan. And hello, Kitty. I hope you hears that. The 2 of you, I hope you hears that. You got a place right here. You got a place right here.
Naturally.
Yeah, look, I never heard that before. The doll moved, yeah. I checked back on the live stream there, and I never seen nothing move.
She was a single mother.
All I gotta do is timestamp it right there. 1 hour and 17 minutes to 1 hour and 18 minutes.
So she had to work most of the time to provide for us all. Therefore, she wasn't around very often to dictate what we were or weren't supposed to do.
But boy, all I gotta do is go back to 117 to 118. Because that's exactly when you said it. It was 117 something odd seconds when you said it.
Because she thought this was the perfect time for us to get out for a bit. My mother's sister, Aunt Lucy, had lived there with
Russian vodka. Ooh, what kind of Russian vodka you got?
So our mother thought it would be a good opportunity for me and my brother to get, as she
buddy, hey buddy,
time outside with family. Like all the opportunities I had gotten before, I was quick to decline this one as well.
Hey, what Russian vodka do you got? Oh, there you got my... See? There you got my attention.
Twice a year. However, my mother stomped her foot.
Chocolate man got my attention. Russian vodka. Never heard tell it. Where'd you get it to?
Initial rejection of her idea, as well as my
strong stuff, Gerry. Russian vodka.
After some amount of persuasion from my mother's side.
Can you buy Russian vodka at Bay Roberts liquor store?
Here is NLC Liquor Store, Bay
rather
Roberts.
Old and didn't work like it used to before.
Close.
So I eventually accepted her terms, albeit reluctantly.
And it opens 10 a.m.
My brother and I left the following week. It took us a couple of flights to get to
Nope, you can't buy Russian vodka at a liquor store.
My first impression of Norway.
Man, where'd you get it to? Man, there you got me interesting. And there you got me interested.
It felt like an ice house there in comparison to my
Awesome.
home city. As we waited at
The
the
strong
airport,
stuff, Gerry. That's what I like. Strong stuff.
I
Ooh.
felt like
What's the name of it? So I can Google it.
The people were talking in a language.
Hey, Chocolate Man, if you're telling me the truth, what's the name of the vodka?
And I were standing there in our thick layered clothes and scarves. The locals were dressed
Call
more
seven.
casually. I guess they were more
What?
accustomed to the temperature
Seven.
than we were, and even found it comfy enough if they dressed him thinly as they were. Whereas we were chilled to the bone. When our
SVEDLKA.
aunt and her family
Vodka.
finally arrived to the airport.
Here are some
they
pictures
greeted
that
us with
match.
open arms.
Ooh,
It
okay.
was welcoming. I didn't stand too close to my aunt and her family. Not as much as I would have wanted to.
Hey, I've been up to the liquor store a lot of times. I did not see that. Maybe I haven't been. Maybe I haven't been.
face to face. To spend a couple of weeks with
Maybe I haven't been looking around
even though I was hesitant.
a lot of
I tried my
times. But
best to welcome the change.
blue raspberry.
Besides, it wasn't like I
Ooh.
could do anything about it. Our cousin's name was Jonas. He wasn't much older than me, and since we shared a couple of hobbies, such as gaming,
Hey, you
I
can
felt
buy it in a
nice
flask
knowing
too.
there was someone I could relate to. All of us spent the first couple of days getting to know each other better.
That's not Russian vodka. Sorry, that's Sweden.
Lived in a privileged two-story
So, buddy,
house
you're
on the
totally
outskirts of the
wrong.
city, which had been renovated only a few months prior. It was a good place to stay.
You are totally wrong. That's not a Russian vodka. That's a Sweden vodka. I like to prove it.
My brother and I, as though we have known each other for far longer than we really had. But since my uncle was Norwegian, he occasionally struggled with a few English terms.
And I am actually on a vodka website here now.
And was often absent from his family.
Sparing off absolute
During
Russian
our stay
standard.
there, however, we
Like,
would all be going
there's
around
websites you can go on.
the forest a bit further from the city.
That's not a Russian. That's not a Russian vodka.
Which involved the
So you got totally ripped off. Sorry there, bro. Sorry, Chocolate Man, but you got really, really ripped off. That's a Sweden vodka. It's not Russian.
At first,
I Google it. You go like yourself. You can go on. You Google it yourself.
Going into the wilderness, as I would rather stay in the house and play games with my cousin. However, after Jonas too and
What happened to ya?
Have a great time, and after my little brother became thrilled about it as well, I knew that I had lost against their argument.
It was too personal. Just inbox me on Facebook.
The drive there took us a few hours, and the view of the vast city gradually vanished into the distance. I was quick to take note of the Norwegian landscape.
Inbox me on Facebook, man. If it's too personal. What happened to you?
Where I came from, and I had to admit it. It was rather beautiful to look at. The sound of the birds singing in the distance and the wind blowing the branches.
I'll get the message anyway.
Brought out a sense of serenity in me that I didn't know I had needed, nor yearned for.
Hey, Chocolate Man, you're not dumb.
Vanished like dust in the wind.
Seriously, Chocolate Man, you're a smart man. You're not dumb. Please don't put yourself down, me buddy. That's only a simple mistake.
It was a one-story cabin with one of those dry toilets outside that you couldn't flush with water.
How do I
The
donate?
cabin itself seemed old-fashioned and ancient, like it had been.
Well, you hit that dollar sign and just fill in your info. Wait, that.
But only to manage the lights.
Hit the dollar sign if you want to donate to the channel.
So having our phones there was essentially useless. We were
Seriously,
practically
Chocolate
playing
Man,
in the
anybody
middle
can
of
make a
the
mistake.
only trees stretching from
Anybody, I can make a mistake.
for the car. It would
At
have
least
taken us
I'm
years to
like,
reach civilization.
at least I admit when I'm wrong.
Despite its
Seriously.
lack of modernity, the cabin was accommodating enough. It had a kitchen.
Oh,
a
yeah,
storage
right.
room,
Sure
and a
enough,
living
wait, that.
room.
I don't believe that.
Ordinary commodities.
That's something I don't believe. That's a good one, though. I got a chuckle out of me. The time I actually sees a donation of your EI check here,
The room we slept in was
if I sees that, if I sees a donation of your check on my last name, I'll do a fucking video of me walking down my underwear at the bottom Seymour's Road from my house to the bottom, and I walk back. And I'll videotape that shit too. Seriously, I would videotape that shit just to prove it. Now, I can't promise you guys I would be in jail. I'll probably be in jail for indecent exposure, or probably they're saying like I got a mental, like I broke down and had a mental like breakdown, and like, oh my god, look what he's doing, like, like holy shit.
We ate warm food on the street,
yeah.
well, close to the cabin, and spent the evenings playing cards or board games with one another.
Oh my god, White Dot, don't do that, seriously. If you got no money, don't donate. I just says to everybody, if you want to donate, it's free of choice. I'm not forcing you guys to donate. It's up to yourself. If you want to donate to the channel, it's up to yourself. It's free of choice, but don't donate your check, man. Oh my god. If you donate your check, I gotta follow through. I gotta go with that promise, because I will walk down and I'll do a video, me stripping down right to me underwear. I would strip down to the underwear and I'll go down in the daytime too. So everybody would see me. Oh my god.
In a way that only added to the eerie atmosphere. I was not used to that kind of silence.
God love you, White Dot. You don't need to be doing that though.
I felt watched in a way.
If you don't have any money, keep it all for yourself, me old buddy. Seriously.
Branches brushing against each other. That alone made me feel separated from the rest of the world. And the longer I stayed,
that's right. See, Black Dot got the right attitude. Black Dot got a right attitude. He knows what I'm saying. He knows what I'm saying, but White Dot, you don't need to be doing that. Seriously. You don't need to be at that.
Looking out into the distance with this vague glimpse in his eyes, initially thinking he was simply sleepwalking. Again, I was about to get back inside when I realized that he was fully awake. What are you doing out here? I asked him. I was just listening to music, he answered. Not sounding.
I don't believe that, because if he was rich, he wouldn't be here. Seriously? If that man was rich, he wouldn't be living in Newfoundland in the fucking cold. If I was rich, I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. If I was rich, I'll still be doing YouTube, but I'll be doing YouTube here in Newfoundland. And I'm serious. All you guys will still be able to see me, but I would never do another YouTube video in Newfoundland. Fuck that. And I'm serious. I'm not joking. I told all you guys what I'm like, and I'm sick and tired of preaching and telling you guys. I am totally honest, and I am totally honest. Maybe I'm too honest, but if I ever won the fucking lotto, I would never live here. I would move away and never come back to Newfoundland. My body would never come back to Newfoundland. They'll bury me wherever the fuck I move to. And I'm serious. No joke with that. Honest to God, no fucking joking. If I ever win the fucking lotto, like $2-3 million, I wouldn't live here. Nope. Not a fucking chance. I'll be gone out of this. I take me and Amanda, and I say, come on, Amanda, we're going. And Amanda wants a small home. Like, I'll live in my mansion, and I'll build a small home next to Amanda. Yeah.
The figure emerged from the depths of the pool, and I froze as I laid my eyes on it. It was a beautiful woman in the middle of the pond.
God love you, Kimberly.
Yeah. Her skin looked pale and smooth, and she had unearthly long, dark hair that reached down to the black waters below, making it seem like her hair was one with it. Her eyes. Hey,
living simply. I'll even take you with me. Me and you, baby, collab together, me buddy.
She reached one of her arms from the water and beckoned for me to come with
You will leave. I tell you what, me, you, and Amanda, we'll live together.
I still found myself complying with her silent demand.
Me, you, Amanda, we'll live together.
I made my way into the water to join her. The pond felt cold against my skin.
Me, you, and Amanda will donate together.
Swim where she was. It was all I wanted, it seemed. The closer I got,
Amen,
the
Amanda.
more her facial
God love your heart.
contorted
Amen.
themselves into a monstrous creature.
Living simply, I'd love to take you. I'd take you, buddy. If I ever won the lotto, honestly, I'd take you.
Covered in fish-like scales, and her
Yeah.
face, her beautiful face, shifted.
Me, you, and Amanda, and one more. I don't know who else, but I know who you like. See, living simply. I actually seen who you are. Like maybe Kimberly, but no, Kimberly got a man. See, Kimberly got a man, so he can't take her. She's not single, and I don't know what that. Personally, and I don't know the rest. I really only knows Kimberly, Amanda, living simply. That's it. All the rest I don't know.
The sensation wasn't welcoming in the slightest. I spent a couple of minutes catching my breath there on the bedroom floor. Even though it was so early that the sun was barely up, I decided to get ready for the day. I was already awake and doubted that I would be able to fall back asleep again.
Chocolate man. Chocolate man. I will bring Granny. Listen, Granny would never phone you because where I want to move to, where I want to go, if I ever been to Lotto, listen, guys, I'm gonna give you some information. Where I want to go, it's gonna make Gilligan's Island look a paradise. It's gonna make Gilligan's Island look like a paradise. I know where I want to go. It's a deserted island. And that's the way I want it. I want us to hunt for our food, to build our huts, and work for what we got. I don't want to go somewhere and everything is like give to you hand and foot. Like I want to build. I want to work for what I got. Like what I got here. Like what I got here. I work what I got, and like I work what I got. I shed a lot of tears. I shed a lot of blood. More blood than tears. But I work hard and long what I got.
So he suggested that the three of us boys went fishing in a pond that was located.
I don't know if the pond is safe yet.
Was enough to send shivers down my spine.
I don't know if the pond is safe yet to go on. So Chocolate Man, I'm going to be totally honest with you right now. I'm afraid to go on the pond. Honestly, I am afraid to go on the pond because I don't know if the pond is safe enough. Oh, Living Simply just wrote. Gerry, I wonder if there enough ice. I say, what? I don't know. Because some ponds, like, the ponds, like, you guys got to understand what I'm trying to say. Like, the ponds froze weird. It froze so weird this year. Like, this time last year, they froze all over, but they froze all over the same thing last year. This time this year, like, they froze thicker in one spot, and in a different spot, like, it was dark ice. Everybody knows, like Living Simply and me, like, we're hiking, fishing, and hunting. That's the way me and Living Simply likes that's the way me and Living Simply likes to live. Like, Living Simply is like me. I like to hunt, I like to ice fish, and go for bike rides. But like, I don't know, like, the ponds froze like They froze weird. Like, it's all like, you look at the ponds, like they're black up here and they're white right there. My dad taught me one thing. He said, always go on the white ice. The white ice is good. Stay clear of the black ice. If you sees any black ice, get off. ASAP. Don't even take the ice auger and go like that. Don't even do that, because that could release pressure from the ice and you could go right through with the ice auger in you. You could fall through with the ice auger in your hand. So don't ever trust. God love you. God love you. Yes, man. Subscribe to Living Simply and subscribe to me too.
The clearing of the forest seemed the same.
Yeah, I'd like to go do a ice fishing video. That would be awesome. Ooh, could be a good video me and Amanda could do. Hey, but you know what? That's gonna put a damper on the ice because it's supposed to be like +5 and 10 millimeters of rain.
He seemed to be the most excited about going to the lake. At first, I thought this was because he wanted to fish. But then he started stripping down. I knew his intentions were to dive straight into the water instead. Isn't it cold? I asked as I tried to dissuade.
Ice fishing video, yes. Guys, I'm gonna be right back. I gotta go pee. I'll be right back.
It's fine. There's nothing there. I promise. Come on. It'll be fun. I don't think you should go. I persisted and put my bag down on the grass. There could be something in the water. It's fresh, so I doubt it, Jonas added dismissively. If you're not going to do it, then I'm not going to force you. I ain't got those same reservations. And with that said, he jumped right into the water with a loud splash and disappeared beneath the murkiness until no trace of him could be seen from the surface. I wanted to go after him, but just as I was about to pull off my shoes, he reemerged from the water with a grin on his face. Told you it was fine, he said as he began to swim further away on his back until the distance between us grew quite prominent. As I watched my cousin relax in the water, a wave of relief washed over me. Maybe I had just been overthinking things. Of course, it was just a nightmare, and everything would just turn out fine. I continued to try to put the image of the disfigured woman behind me, but as I turned to my brother and discovered that he too had stripped down, my alertness came back like a switch had been flicked. You're not going in there, I said and grabbed him by the arm, but he shook my hand off with ease. The lady is waiting for us, he said faintly and pointed to where Jonas was swimming in the water. There is no lady in the water, I insisted. It was just a dream. But she's waiting for us. No, she's not. I reached to grab him again, but before I could, he jumped into the water and made his way over to where Jonas was. My stomach plummeted to the bottom of my abdomen like a 10-pound brick as I watched him go, and a million thoughts rushed through my head.
Now,
I didn't know why though.
Now, I'm back. Guys, I gotta check a Facebook message. First, I gotta check a Facebook message.
Nothing to worry about. I started to feel relaxed enough to take off my shoes and the rest of my stuff until I stood there. Just as I was done, I started to hear what sounded like a violin playing close by. The same beautiful tune I had heard from last night echoed through my eardrums, and I was starting to debate whether or not I had truly lost my mind. I listened closer and realized that it was coming from the pond, as though whoever was playing the instrument was trembling with it from beneath the depths of the water. Then I heard Jonas let out an ear-deafening scream from where he was, and upon snapping my attention to him, I saw her. The deformed woman from my dreams stood there in the water, with her bony, scale-covered arms stretched toward Jonas in an effort to grab him. He quickly swam away out of her reach, but just as it seemed like he was out of immediate harm's way from the creature,
oh my God!
my brother suddenly emerged from the water.
Holy crap!
And proceeded to pull him under. Despite my brother being roughly 90 pounds.
Holy crap! I just got your message. Okay.
To pull our older cousin underneath was seemingly no difficulty. I watched.
Okay, I just got your.
whilst his arms waved
Holy
around the
crap.
surface in a futile effort
I
to
just
regain
got your
his
message,
The woman,
Amanda.
whatever it was, watched the
Holy
spectacle
moly.
in front of her with evident amusement.
But
Even though her
anyways,
eyes were deep, she
Um,
stood there completely still.
yeah.
She didn't need to move in order to stay afloat. Her black eyes were aimed at the view, and then she tilted her head to look at me. I was completely frozen. Even as I watched my brother sink my cousin, I couldn't move a single muscle for the duration of it. The woman's lips parted, and her razor-like teeth shone like diamonds in the sun. And she smiled a malevolent, vicious smile that not even the devil's grin can compare to. Jonas's arm stopped moving and gradually descended to the water. My brother still held him down and didn't seem moved by his act in the slightest. His face was void of any kind of remorse or emotion, and for a moment, I even doubted it was my brother. My brother couldn't as much as hurt a fly without bursting into tears. So this
Guys,
was something entirely
who else is double jointed
looked at me.
like me?
I saw his eyes had turned completely
Take your
dark
thumb,
like the
take a
palms of
fist,
his
right?
just
Like a
the
thumbs
woman's
up.
eyes.
Go like that.
He began to make his way over to her and
See
embraced
that?
her like she was our mother. The creature
I'm double jointed.
around him in return,
See?
and they both turned to look at me with those
Can you
equally
guys take,
eyes.
instead of going like that, or like
Stretched an arm toward
like
me
that,
without letting
take your
go of
thumb and
me.
go right down.
They called out to me.
Right across.
They said in perfect unison, and I can only describe.
I just found out that 3 weeks ago. I found out I can do that.
Were questionable at best. I knew they were saying it to us. At that moment, it felt like my body had gotten a mind of its own, because I no longer felt.
I'll get copyright.
Like a puppet with strings.
I will get copyright 100%.
With the intent.
I tried it.
I wanted to go with them.
I still get copyright 100%. I can't do it. Sorry, living simply. I know I tried, but the funny thing is, the only fucking thing. I know, right? Like what the F? Yeah, seriously, because all 5 none of you is only talking.
I snapped out of my trance.
Same thing as this, but I don't get shot copyright because of this. But the other thing is, if I put on anything else, oh my son, copyright right away.
Back to the cabin, where I found my aunt preparing lunch on the porch. When she saw me, she instantly knew something was wrong. I tried to tell her what happened, but my lungs were completely empty of oxygen, and my body possessed barely enough energy to stand. In fact, I fainted right there on the porch. However, I recall that hideous
Gerry.
I remember seeing my brother still there with her, and I remember hearing that beautiful but nightmare-inducing violin music ringing in my ears.
No,
Years
my.
had gone by, and nothing ever came out of the investigation that was launched. They never found my brother, or my cousin, or that deformed woman.
Holy crap.
No matter how many divers they
Well, that's all thanks to me, because you know what? It was only there 2 weeks ago. You was at 100 subs. Now you're almost at 200 subs there now.
After I was deemed perfectly sane, my answers still couldn't provide them with any.
Keep going with the good videos, but I do what I told you.
My brother and cousin.
Do what I told you. Seriously, always give that little intro. Give that little intro at the beginning of your video and at the end of your video. When you do the little Tony intro, explain yourself at the beginning, that's it then. I know, see, living simply, you told me before, and you don't like talking in your videos. But all you got to do, listen to me please. All you got to do is explain yourself at the beginning. Then, if you make sure the video 20 minutes long, you don't have to talk no more. That's it. Only at the beginning. And keep it short and sweet. Keep it short and sweet. Don't keep it like explaining too much, because that's gonna bore you. That's gonna bore your audience, and they're gonna click off right away. You gotta hype up your video. You gotta hype up your audience. When you keep some hype,
back of
Like,
my mind,
keep it fast, short, and sweet.
I still see those pitch black.
And same thing at the end. Always don't forget to say, smash that like button, like, subscribe, and share.
I find my clothes are soaked with
Yeah.
sweat.
Always say that. Always say, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Or you can say it in a different ways. Like what it says, to each his own. That's what I says.
And my cousin, and it still yearns for me. The one who got away. One day, I might go back there to bring this all to an end. But something tells me that I won't return. I hope I do. I sincerely do.
Do you know, Gerry, that there is a guy around you that used to go around
if I return?
shrieking?
I doubt I'll be as lucky as I was back when I was
No.
a teenager.
Never heard tell that. What the fuck?
Hello.
That's right. Keep doing good content. Yeah.
I'm 19 years old, fresh out of high school, working.
No, I never heard tell that. I knew there was a guy down Carbonear used to do that.
I don't usually patrol the park. My job is to sit in the radio booth and wait for people to call me and need assistance. This
Yeah.
from somebody needing
No, I didn't know that was.
to a drunk
I didn't know that was
a couple of
guy in
months ago,
Spanish
I
Bank.
thought I had an encounter with a type of creature, or maybe even.
I knew a guy in
I'm not sure at
Carbonear.
this point. This forever scarred me, and I will always be paranoid of the forest. It was a normal evening at the park.
I know it wasn't nothing up in Spanish Space, Seymour's Road.
Over to 6 p.m.
Now,
Well,
now,
it was
Kimberly,
midnight by myself.
seriously,
I
Kimberly,
said aloud,
I was living up in Toronto, Kingston,
another hour passed.
for 6
I was eating
years.
my dinner.
So it might have been on the go when I
The radio.
wasn't living here.
Static. A girl's voice started to come through. Hello, hello.
Like
Is anyone
6
there?
years. I was living in Newfoundland 6 years. I got six years. I was up in
I
Toronto.
picked it up.
So
Hello.
it might have been on the go, you know.
Yes.
Might have been on the go.
Continuing her sentence. Please help
Might have
me.
been on the go when I was around here.
I was dumbfounded. The creepy.
That's
cop
too
was,
bad,
"She
though."
didn't say something.
I missed that.
She said
If
something.
it's
I
Kimberly,
calmed myself.
if you're telling me the truth,
Calm down.
well,
Tell me
I
where you
missed
are,
out.
and I can send help immediately.
if you're telling me the truth, I missed it because
I ran.
I wish I was home. I wish I was home to see that.
I think it's close. It's all right, miss. I'll send out help. I was cut off by.
Huh?
Shh. I stopped talking, listening to the radio. Then I heard a very soft,
Living
aggressive
on
growl come from the
She's
speaker.
a good woman, Gerry.
Oh, no.
Who's a good woman?
It's here. As she finished her sentence, I heard a crash of a window and a large thud on the wood floor.
Who's a good
The radio
woman?
cut out. I was in complete shock. What did I hear?
Do you know, Gerry,
After
that
about a minute of
there is a
everything absolutely
guy
going to
around
my
you
chair,
that used to go
I started to gather a
around
plan.
shrieking?
I spun around
You.
in my chair and grabbed the old park map.
He,
off the
here
desk
guy,
next to
he.
me. I unfolded it frantically, scanning it.
That
word
I
for
went
word
to
watch
school
tower.
with.
It was
Huh?
on the northeast side of the park, just like she said.
She's a
Took
good
look
friend.
at it. It would
She's a
take me
good
about an
woman,
hour
Gerry.
to walk
Oh, so she's a
I got
woman.
up from my chair and walked over to the gun cabinet.
She's a woman used to go
Unlocking the
shrieking.
case I had in my pocket.
What the
I
fuck?
grabbed the first gun I saw.
Is that a woman used to go
along
shrieking?
with some extra shells. I also saw a flare gun on the top shelf and decided to take that too.
Oh my God! Now you drive me crazy because
Shotgun.
if that's a woman used to go up and down my lane naked, oh my God! If I could roll back time and come back,
I was scared to
live
go
back
out to
there in
the
Newfoundland.
I hated the idea.
I spent a lot of time up in
As I exited the station,
I spent a lot of time up in Toronto. I lived a lot of time up there.
Started to come out. I could hear the calling of the cicadas in the trees, while the crickets.
I say she's long gone.
Such a breathtaking scene could hold such a horror that the lady experienced. Since it was a long walk, I started moving at a faster pace than I normally would. As I was about 10 minutes away from the tower, everything changed. Once an amazing sunset, now turned the forest into a pitch black that no person can see into, along with the deafening sound of silence as the cicadas and crickets stopped chatting. This was extremely odd. I had been in the forest many times at night, and nothing like this ever happened. A few more minutes of walking later, and I saw the old watchtower. It was about 70 feet tall or so, with a hut on top of it. The watchtower had seen better days. The wood looked very old, with it being damp and cracked in many spots. At this point, I was at the base of the tower. Right before I was about to go up on my first step, I got the worst feeling I've ever felt. My head started to spin. I was very nauseous and started to see stars. As this continued, I thought I was going to pass out. As the darkness around my eyeballs started to grow, everything stopped. I was
She's
normal
gone.
again, except for one
I
thing.
say the fuck she
It
is.
felt like someone was staring at me.
Last time
I could feel its eyes.
well, when I was living up in Ontario, I lived back in Newfoundland 9 years ago. So, I lived back there, I moved back there 9 years ago, so that was a long time ago. That was about 16 years ago, so I would never even know who she is.
Yellow eyes staring at me. I was struck with fear. My eyes.
I would never know who she is.
My feet almost cemented in the ground. After a minute of me staring at it, it winked at me. After this, the eyes disappeared and went back into the brush. I didn't know what to think. The only thing that I knew was to not stay in that spot. I ran up the old wooden stairs as fast as I could.
Know what I don't? Know what I'm open?
I prepared myself for a bad scene.
I'm open if I don't go in a lightning storm with my finger and lightning hits that. I should go up on top of Monterey Hill in Spanish Bay. That's the highest point. That is the highest point in Spanish Bay. The highest mountain in Spanish Bay. When I see a lightning storm, I should go up and I should go up on top of the highest mountain in Spanish Bay and go like that. Stick my hand right up in the air. People says you gain special abilities when you get struck by lightning. Geez, I'm not old. My God, I'm only 41-year-old. Kimberly's older than me. Kimberly is 43, and I'm only 41. But I tell you what, my birthday's coming up soon. My birthday's March 9th.
My skin ran cold. I needed to get out of this place right now.
My birthday is March 9th, and I'll be 42.
It was too late.
I'll be 42 March 9th.
Around, I heard a sound. That same chilling.
Hey, Kimberly, I'm catching up to you.
I turned around as fast.
Kimberly, I'm catching up to you there, my sweetheart. Catching up to you.
This cat was massive.
What year was you born in? What month was you born? I was born in March 9th.
8 feet tall. It had deep old scars all over its body. Probably.
March 9th, 79, I was born in.
The size of small dinner plates. The lips.
My God, living simply, you're only 1 year older than me. Oh, 2 years, is it?
Those eyes
41.
staring into my soul.
You're two. Yeah, you'll be March 9th. You only be 1 year older than me.
I landed a shot, but it barely did anything. The cat staggered back when the slug hit it.
78. Yeah, you're only 1 year. You're only 1 year older than me.
About the size of a dollar coin. But alas, the creature was pretty much unfazed.
Here, finally.
I decided to run for it, booking it to the exit, only to be stopped by the huge feline pouncing on my back and pinning me to the wall.
Welcome back, Amanda.
The beast raked its claws.
Everybody say welcome back, Amanda.
It felt like a hot iron. I could feel my shirt already being soaked. I managed to flip around on my back and face the beast, holding it away from my face.
Welcome back.
It started swiping at my face, leaving those claw marks on me again. I tried to reach for a shotgun on the ground next to me.
Amanda, I got a couple good more new movies for us to watch more.
not allowing me to see.
I got some more movies for me and you to watch more. Oh my God.
There was no point. I couldn't overpower this thing. And right then, I was about to give in, thinking about all of my friends and family. An idea sparked into my head. I reached into my pocket and pulled out the knife I'd forgotten about. I flipped it open and immediately got the cat in the neck. The beast.
Amanda.
This was my chance to escape.
Yeah.
I quickly got up and snatched the shotgun before sprinting down the stairs. I had a head start, but the cat was catching up. As I reached the bottom, it was already halfway down. I didn't have any time to spare.
Cool. Living simply. Awesome.
Not looking behind me. I could hear the big, heavy footsteps of beasts.
Well, living simply, how long you been living up on the mainland for?
So I turned around, pumping 2 more slugs in it, staggering it again. I could tell it was hurt because it was.
I was living up on the mainland for. I was living up in Toronto for a long time.
Then the cat stopped running, turning around and slowly jogging the other.
I moved back like probably 8 or 9 years ago. I moved back.
I used every bit of strength and willpower to make it back. As I busted through the door of the building, the biggest wave of relief came over me.
Income tax time.
I had beaten that.
Man, try to keep that stuff to yourself, my dad.
Grabbing a glass of water, I sat down in my desk chair, thankful to be.
Try to keep that stuff to yourself, my sweetheart. Don't go talking about stuff like that.
Ah, the newspaper.
Yes, living simply, word in caps, please, because it helps me to see more. And Kimberly, word in caps.
State Park. Even though she was taken, many of the people in the park say they can still hear her calling for help. Just like that same night, she disappeared.
It's only hit the cap lock. That's all you got to do.
I didn't know what to think. Was it a ghost? Or maybe a spirit? And right as I put the newspaper down, the radio buzzed, playing the same voice that started us all. Hello.
I got no reading glasses.
It's been 3 days since I discovered the truth. 3 days of isolation, paranoia, and hopelessness. 3 days since I met it. I'm not sure how much time I have left.
Take your living simply. God love you. No, I don't have to lean in. See what they're saying. I don't have reading glasses.
There is something out there. Like I said,
it's on my driver's license.
3 days ago.
On my driver's license, I'm supposed to be wearing glasses while I drive, but
I've been to around 40 states and 15 countries.
I got to be wearing glasses when I drive, but I never didn't. Honest to God, I swear to God, I never did got glasses. It makes me look like a nerd. Honestly. I wear glasses. I look like a fucking nerd. Big old joint eyes on me look like that. Big old makes my eyes twice as big.
What I just encountered. I was traveling through the forest in the northwest.
Hey, Frank, yeah.
I was alone.
Yeah, Frank was sure his glasses with me.
Eventually, I left my car in the parking lot and started walking down a trail. Every few minutes, I would stop and admire the beauty of nature.
Yeah, still Frank's glasses. Ooh, that's not bad.
All of it was refreshing.
My God, I've been on live like almost going on 2 hours. Holy crap!
First, I just heard the rustling of
that's crazy.
Of sticks. I thought it was some large animal, so I tried my best not to spook it. I was proven wrong when a humanoid figure stepped out of the forest. He was motioning for me to come closer, but I refused. He shook his head, and before I could he charged at me.
So are you living simply, are you farsighted? Like if you got when you're reading, you got to have the book out there, or are you nearsighted? Like you get to have the book in here when you're reading. Gamer girl, oh God, love you, sweetheart. Thanks for popping in.
Wait, I was growing more concerned as I asked.
God love you. Hey, gamer girl, you see the video? See the video I mentioned you in?
It's you who needs
macaroni, the mac and cheese and moose sausages.
I know you, I thought. He continued.
Oh my God, that was so good.
A coffin.
That was good.
He's actually crazy.
Oh.
I said to myself.
I eat all that. I even got a bad stomach. I eat that so fast, I get a bad stomach. Honestly, I get a bad stomach. I eat it so fast.
I was thinking about the strange old man. Why did he attack me? What was this demon that he was talking about? Whatever, I thought.
Oh my God.
Oh, I didn't. What I stumbled upon was far worse.
That is physically impossible unless you got a drone, or that's impossible to see Spanish Bay from Brigus. You can see it from Sutton River, but you can't see it from Brigus.
Looking at the stars.
Unless you're up on top of unless you're on top of a big mountain that I don't know that's in Brigus. It could be that too. You could be on top of a big mountain that I don't see up there.
It was a light brown coffin, covered with moss and dirt, and it was flying. Was that old man actually right? No, this is a dream, I said to the coffin in front of me. In response, an otherworldly voice boomed across the land. Oh, this is no dream, Gerry. In fact, I've been expecting you.
Cool, Roach's line. Hey, Kimberly, go check my channel out. Maybe your house is on my video. I checked go check it out, because I only videotape the road. I don't videotape when I'm driving. I don't go videotaping the houses like that. I just keeps the video camera. I just keeps the I just keeps the tablet like that. I try to keep it steady. But if your house is on my video, congratulations.
Cruel laugh field.
Cool.
Get paler and paler every second. The longer I stood before it, the stronger its presence felt. I could tell that whatever this thing was, it was far from
Excuse me.
I found the courage to ask it a second question. What do you want from
The
me?
highest point in Brigus.
It chuckled again as it said, Good question. Well, since you stumbled upon my prison, I would like to show you a
Hey, let's Google it.
Using. Before I could even blink,
let's Google it.
Light seemed to engulf me. The vision it sent me.
If you guys can Google it before me, well, congratulations. But see if you guys can get it up before me. What is the highest point in Brigus, Newfoundland, Labrador?
The elevation of Brigus is 30 meters.
Sentient organisms.
Living simply. Seriously, you can't see my house from Brigus. 30 meters. That's the highest point in Brigus.
Scampered into its burrow. I was so fascinated that I forgot about the monster that sent me this vision. At least, I did until I heard its horrible laughter.
Now, cubits, I got to be honest, cubits you might, because right down to the waterfront, down cubits got a big old giant cliff.
That's when I saw it.
Got a big old giant cliff, and unless you're at the
I was thrown into the center of the city,
top.
And I saw the inhabitants.
No, seriously, 30 meters, that's it, in Brigus. Look, I'm not lying, look.
But they spoke a language I could not understand. The entity spoke again.
Seriously, you can't see Brigus. I can't even see Brigus from Spanish Bay. I'm up on top of a big old fucking cliff.
The entire planet seemed to vibrate. The panicked and confused.
Highest point in Spanish Bay, Newfoundland, Labrador.
No.
According to Wikipedia, Spaniards Bay is a town in the Canadian province of Newfoundland and Labrador.
A gaping hole of
It's not telling me the highest point, though.
The entire sky seemed to warp around it, as it emitted a dreadful humming noise. But that wasn't the worst part.
Highest mountain in Spaniards Bay.
The void lurker said. So, do you like my true appearance? Because here it is. At least, that's as close as you can get to comprehending it.
The highest
Mortified.
spot
The being
in
who was
Spanish
haunting me,
Bay.
sending me these visions. I barely managed to mutter. What did you do? It replied.
Spanish Bay elevation.
To the planet, you're about to find out. The humming grew louder as a horde of abominations descended. Disgusting masses snaked through the city, consuming the terrified citizens. Draconic
Let's see, guys.
Countless villages. The depraved creature forced me to watch. Their faces will haunt me forever.
It doesn't say nothing about elevation, but it shows where it lives.
Destroying everything in their
Shows where I'm recording right now.
It was over. Looking at the same floating.
I'm not very far away from Bay Roberts.
That goes by the name of the Void Lurker. I was trying to register what I just saw, what those demons did to that poor world. I've seen wars break out, but I have never seen anything that scared me.
Elevation. Let's see, where's it at?
That level of devastation hasn't been seen by anyone on this planet. Right when I thought it couldn't get any worse, that sadistic entity just had to tell me one more thing. This stuck with me even more than that vision. You know, it said, I didn't just destroy that one planet. I wiped out every last world in the universe, except for your precious Earth.
All right. Ooh, I got the elevation. I think I do.
They're all gone. I just stared at this thing in utter shock. I just felt like collapsing, like giving up and having that thing get me. But
no, I don't.
Strength to ask one last question.
Thought I did.
Well, why didn't you destroy Earth? The Void Lurker cackled again before saying, I was going to, of course, but unfortunately, I'm not the only cosmic force in existence. The other.
Oh wait, now,
they didn't understand the beauty of
highest point in Spanish Bay is 400 meters.
After a battle that lasted for eons, they imprisoned me.
Holy crap, 400 meters!
The funny thing is, I was just in prison just a few days ago, which is why very few.
So, wait now, 400 meters, I gotta remember that. My house was across from Generator Road.
Don't tell me. I knew what it meant. It was going to try to possess someone, maybe even a whole population. It wasn't going to stop until it saw the world burn. I've been thinking, the Lurker continued. Since you know all about me now, why don't I make things a little more interesting? My body froze as I continued to stare at the coffin, dreading what it would do or say next. A tendril of smoke made its way out of the coffin and started wrapping around my body. Its icy form made its way to my face.
How many feet is in 400 meters?
Only the loss of hope. It was in there.
400 meters is equal to 1,312 feet, 4.031 inches.
Holy shit!
Meters to feet. Multiply unit of length by approximately 3.28.
Now I know about.
Oh, that's the highest mountain in Spanish Bay. That's Monterey Hill. This is Monterey Hill. The highest mountain in Spanish Bay is 1,312 feet, 4 point something. What is that right here? Right here, 1,312 feet.
I left the field.
Holy moly!
None of the sounds of night calmed me, nor did they frighten me. I was almost numb.
Holy crap!
Those images of aliens in agony continued to flash in my head. The voice
how many feet is in 30 meters?
I didn't know what to do.
30 meters is equal to 98 feet, 5.
Oh my god, what a joke! What a fucking joke! Oh my god, what a joke! Brigus is only 98 feet above sea level.
I completely forgot about it. The man flashed a creepy smile before asking, "Did you meet it, friend?" I didn't answer him. I just walked in with a blank look on my face as I opened the door. He said,
Brigus is only 98 feet above sea level.
I drove off. As soon as I drove, I thought about my plan. I knew I had to warn someone.
Oh my God, that's nothing.
I couldn't return home. For all I knew, my family was already possessed.
Oh my God, 98 feet above sea level. I just Googled it. Like literally. Holy shit. Spencer's Bay overtowers Brigus hundreds of times. Literally, hundreds of times. Holy shit.
Maybe we'll have the chance to
What was Spencer's Bay again? I gotta check that up.
I fear I'm running out of time. I hear
1,370 something feet.
Familiar faces staring at me.
And Brigus is only 98 feet above sea level. Holy fuck.
Imagine your worst nightmare coming true.
Hey, Gerry, how can I see put a grave from our property up in the woods?
I live in a small town.
I don't know where your property is, so I can't say nothing about that.
John's Barbecue and Grill is being held after church service on Sunday. Kids playing hopscotch with the other 3 kids their age. And of course, almost everyone is living.
I say you can see it in cubits.
Fences surrounding.
No joke, but you won't be able to see Spencer's Bay.
Almost everyone.
Spencer's Bay is like down a big valley, so
sure. You could say
you will see Spencer's Bay Hill.
The worst, though. I still had a roof over
seriously, like I'm not kidding. Montreal Hill is the biggest hill around on the Avalon, I think.
Great for hunting.
And I'm not joking. I did a YouTube video about that. We overlooks. Honest to God, I go up on Montreal and I could see St. John's from Montreal Hill.
The word went around town.
If you guys think that I'm joking, ask Amanda.
More people asked.
Seriously, just ask Amanda. You could see St. John's and Belle Island from Montreal Hill.
Of course.
Yeah. I can see it. At the night time, I can see St. John's with a high, powerful binoculars.
After working so hard, they wouldn't let their children soil it. The first Saturday night I returned home for winter break was easily the most horrifying experience.
How far could you see from cubits?
During my freshman year of college,
I don't know.
I finally caught a break.
I honestly don't know. I say you can see Birch Hills.
Well, that's expected. It's winter.
I say you can see Birch Hills in Bay Roberts. That's about it. You can't see Bay Roberts either because Bay Roberts is down a valley.
That was a mistake.
Trust me, because I know. I'm after Googling up and I'm after going up there trying.
They came over to my house.
Go back far enough and you can watch my YouTube videos.
We all were bored.
I'm after doing all that.
Playing Monopoly, but Charles cheated and ruined the fun.
I'm serious. I'm after going back and I'm after checking all that.
You want to go back into the forest back there? Explore a little? No way. First of all,
see, Cubits is bad enough. Yeah, not no Cubits.
Super easily. It's snowing.
A no man's land. Fuck's sake.
And never find our way out.
That's not. If I was going to live down Cubits, I only lived down Cubits. I was like 75, 80-year-old.
Relax.
Like that's only a retirement spot to go and die.
Besides,
seriously, that's the same thing as up Brigus. What's up to Brigus? It's fuck all up Brigus. It's only a spot to go if you're 75 or 80-year-old to live and die.
Although I'd always hated my backyard. I'm not a kid anymore. I can face my fears.
I like Spencer's Bay, and I like where I'm at. I'm close to the malls. That's just the way I am. I like malls. I'm close to Carbonair. I'm close to Bay Roberts.
I know. I'm not a kid.
I don't have to drive 20 minutes away to get to this. I'm 3-minute drive to Bay Roberts, and I'm 10 minutes away from Carbonair. That's it. I'm 4 minutes.
Okay.
I'm 4 minutes away from Bay Roberts. That's a drive.
I'm the first one out of there. Got it? Alex said. Great. Yep, got it. Charles replied. Okay, I said. I may be scared, but I'm not going alone.
Peace and
It'll be
quiet.
fine. Yeah, it'll be fun. I grabbed 4
Yeah.
spools of thick
Peace
string,
and quiet.
green, red, blue, and yellow, and 4 flashlights.
Well, you're gonna find that up near Seymour's Road.
It was. I checked my phone. The weather app says it's only 20 degrees Fahrenheit.
Living simply in Amanda is pretty quiet up in Seymour's Road. Oh my God, man! I got my next door neighbors moving out now. Honestly, my next door neighbors is moving the U-Haul truck in there past 2 years. Past 2 days moving stuff.
Yeah, aren't we all?
And
Charles and
their contract is up, right?
To the tree line.
So their contract is up, so they got to be out before the 1st of March.
Overgrown.
So I'm gonna have nobody living next to me for a while. But I just found out today, when you're moving out, in 3 weeks' time, I'm gonna have no one living next to me in 3 weeks. So after 3 weeks, there's someone else moving in, and it's all women living there.
I don't know why.
Woo! I'll be looking at the curtains like that, like, oh boy, it's all women going to be living there.
Well, time to get this over with. I gave everyone their respective string color.
Yeah.
Blue.
It might be very quiet till 3 weeks' time when all the women moves in. Oh my God! Might sound like a bunch of. It's gonna sound like a bunch of chickens. Holy Jesus!
That was more than enough for us.
You get 6 women at that same time, man, oh man.
Yeah, it's an ice box. I can feel my bones forming ice flakes. Charles replied, uncomfortable.
I wouldn't even live right down in Brigus. I bet in the woods.
Which way are we
okay.
Going? Want to split up? Sammy suggests. Are you serious? I finally.
So where do you live to anyway?
You're already joking? Alex replies, disapprovingly. Oh my, Alex, take a.
Do you actually live in Brigus? Or do you live on the outskirts of Brigus?
We'll stick together. So let's hurry up and get walking, Sammy said quickly. We start walking, but going very slow due to the abundant amount of snow.
I would live up there, buddy, if they give me a house.
The amount of snow has doubled.
I'm serious. I would live in Brigus if they give me a fucking house.
Well, I hope there isn't any.
I don't like that spot. There's nothing up there.
It's pitch black.
Seriously, nothing up there.
We continue walking.
It's butt fuck nothing up there. Honestly.
Been a few inches. I've never been this far into the forest. I assume we're about 200 feet in by now. My nose and ears are freezing, and I can barely feel my hands through my leather jacket. What is that? Alex says shakily. She sounds as if she's on the brink of tears. What? What's wrong? What do you see? I turn around to try to find her, pointing my flashlight in her direction. I almost dropped my flashlight. Alex has already dropped hers. Charles and Sammy mutter under their breath. Oh no. A spindly, humanoid creature is crawling on the riverbank. It had penetrating yellow eyes, a mouth with teeth so sharp and decayed. The top of its head is caved in and appears to have some sharp teeth protruding out of it. The limbs were nothing but bones covered in pale white skin. Our flashlight stopped working.
What the fucking Britain you want now?
We dashed toward the tree line. It's so hard to run shin deep in snow. Was I just imagining that? Nothing in the world looks that scary. Is the icy weather getting to my head? Beginning to race.
I'm not talking to that the night. I'm not talking that no more.
Alex, Sammy, Charles, where are you? I yelled. I could barely see. Danny, is that you? Charles came out, leaning against the tree for support while trying to catch his breath. Yeah, it's me. Did you see that thing? Are you okay? Where are the others? I felt like I was about to have a heart attack. Are they okay? Did that thing take them? I don't know what that
Oh
was.
my God, what's
I
she?
need to go back and search for Sammy and Alex.
Fuck you on video
The
chat me
boys
for?
came out of the forest.
The fuck?
Don't worry, we're fine, Sammy replied. Both Sammy and Alex came out, holding each other's hands. Alex, just like Charles, was propped up against a tree for support. Let's get out of here. I ran as fast as I could, in knee-high snow. I saw something in the corner of my eye. Is that a man in a cloak and a top hat? No. The weather got to my brain. I'm seeing things now. I arrived at the sliding glass back door. Hurry, I yelled to Sammy and Alex. Once they entered, I slammed it shut, locked it, and closed the curtains. I ran to turn on the heater and put the teapot on to boil. We were all in hysterics. That thing must have been a malnourished coyote. Nobody wants to talk about it. Yet, I guess that's understandable. I don't want to interrupt the silence. Everyone just needs to gather their thoughts and calm down.
Oh my.
Well, don't just stand around here. What was that? Sammy cried. I don't know. Obviously, it was something like a ghost, Alex replied. I'm going home. Sorry, Danny. I can't stay here, Charles said. Yeah, I'm going too. Good night, Danny. Stay safe, Sammy declared. Wait, please don't leave me here alone. They can't just leave me here alone with that thing, can they? I'm going with Sammy. I'm sorry. Bye, Alex said, sounding panicked. So, they're just going to leave me, just like that. How could
Oh
they?
my God, my
I'll just
fucking
stay
finger
here.
is killing
They
me.
can't get me inside here. With the sounds of the door closing, the teapot whistles, sounding like a baby bird screeching for food. I poured myself a cup of water and put in tea and honey. I walk upstairs, sit on my bed, recounting what had just occurred. As I lay there, it feels more and more lonesome. I decide to visit my parents' old bedroom, expecting the dark hardwood floors with matching furniture, a paper white bedspread with floral laces on the edges, pictures framing the walls with photographs of all the places they have traveled to. Man, I miss them. I miss their sweet vanilla scent. It's only been 7 months since their passing, but I still think about them every day. When I'm about to open the door, it hits me. This intense feeling of dread is clogging my senses. As I look up, I see it. Crouching on the bedspread is that thing, the thing that we saw in the forest. Its eyes, still that soul-stealing yellow. My head feels like it's about to explode. I feel nauseous, but I can't move. Why can't I move? Someone, please help me. I need to get out of here. I try to lift my leg, but nothing comes of it. After what seems like an hour, I can finally move. I bolt to the bathroom, almost tripping my way there. It's here, too. This time, it's standing, a hungry look on its face while it reaches out its hand. Those fingers. I can still
After
envision
the
those
graveyard.
long, skinny fingers. Attached to them were nails that were sharp as an ice pick. Its skin looked as if it was melting off. I could see the bones under its melting skin. Under the pale white skin, it was red. I ran to my room. Luckily, it's not in there. I hid in my closet. That's where I am now, writing this. I can hear it prowling
I know where that's at.
looking for me. I know it will eventually find me.
I know exactly where it's at. The road comes to a dirt road, and the dirt road comes to a bike path.
This series of supernatural events I'm going to recollect to you has been kept extremely confidential and non-disclosed for a good 15 years. I was involved with this particular case back when I was a rookie, only being an officer.
I'll be right back, guys. I gotta go pee again.
Oh. Have had their names changed to protect their identity, as well as my job. The first time I was introduced to this case was when my partner and I were called to investigate a missing person. The person, who I will refer to as John, was a camp host for one of the campgrounds in our local forest, which was a part of our district. The person who reported him missing was a middle-aged woman who worked at a local lodge. We asked her a few basic questions, such as how long he had been missing, which were about 2 days, and how did she know he was missing. She told us that he would always come to the lodge for a pack of smokes each morning, and had been doing that for the past 2 months. So when he didn't show up for 2 days in a row, she became suspicious. I then asked her how he acted, and her response intrigued me at the time when she said, John was the quiet type, not saying much to anyone other than the occasional hello. He never brought food or supplies here, and I didn't find out why till one day I offered him a free gallon of milk that was about to expire the next day, and he gave me a disturbed look as if I was trying to give him poison. I soon figured out that he didn't trust food that he didn't make himself. He was extremely antisocial, and I wouldn't be surprised if he went off to live in the woods by himself. She answered a few more questions pertaining to the case, but nothing I need to inform you about. Soon after we finished questioning her, we went to go check out the campground he was in charge of, which was only about 5 miles from the lodge, but on a winding dirt road that went up the side of a mountain. When we first arrived to the campground that John was in charge of, we noticed that it had not been well kept and maintained. The fire pits were full of ashes, and the bathrooms looked as if they hadn't been cleaned for months, with many different substances and graffiti coating their walls. After we surveyed the other campsites and introduced ourselves to the families who were camping there, we went to visit the man's trailer, which was isolated at the end of the loop. Surprisingly, his campsite was clean and had been taken great care of. It was when we entered the man's trailer that the smell hit us. It stunk so
Oh
bad that we
my!
could find him rotting away in there. But he was nowhere to be found. I tried to turn on the lights to see
Well,
him.
that we're on the topic of up there. I got something to shock you guys. I used to go out with a woman, with a guy up there, got a daughter phone. I used to go out with a woman, not missing no names here.
Because when I did,
It was going on for probably 6 years. That's my second longest relationship I ever had. Man knows who exactly who I'm fucking talking about. And this been going on, she never had a fucking clue. Not a fucking clue. I'm sure not a fucking clue what I'm talking about.
There in the fridge was a carcass of a squirrel.
And I used to go up there all the time.
It still had fur attached to it.
And
Everything was rotting
used
away.
to pick up her daughter.
In the trailer swarmed the fridge.
Like they wouldn't know who I was. I used to be sat in the back. Someone else be driving. Don't mention no names, guys. Seriously. Just for respect for me and her and her daughter and anybody else. I used to go up there all the time, drive in the back, and they would go parking. They used to come here, and they was. She and her daughter used to spend days here. Honestly, I used to go up and bring us all the time. Like I said, the stuff you don't know about me, my cock and my dear. I can shock you. I can make your fucking jaw drop. I can make your jaw drop. Oh, the stuff I can say. Don't get me going. Seriously. Don't go get me going. This has been going on for 6 years and behind people's back. And boy, cock, listen. What do you think I still got on Facebook?
I asked back, wondering what was going
and my dear, what do you think I still got on Facebook? Seriously.
Get out of here. He said,
anybody wants to go bringing up like stuff like that? I can bring up stuff. Oh yeah. Yeah. I can bring up Gerry Lynch too. I can bring up a lot of Gerry Lynch and stuff like that. Oh, I could start a shitstorm, buddy. I can tell you, cover the full fucking world in a shitstorm. My son.
Looking back now, I wish I would have just turned it in as evidence, because what I found inside was sickening.
I could start a shitstorm, buddy, my son. I could start, as as Mr. Lee says on the trailer park, boys, I could start a shit tornado. Oh, my son.
Pages had illustrations. It was all unsettling, and off the bat, I could tell this man had some demons lurking inside of his head. I will go more into depth with what was written and drawn in the journal later. But as of now,
it's been going on 6 years now. Not now, but past that last year and a half, I stopped it. Yeah, last year and a half, I stopped it.
So I hope no one recognizes this.
Yeah.
This case involved many people whose experiences and testimonies of what happened will be shown. Anyway, when we get back to the station, we had already...
Like I said, a lot of people don't know what it does. You don't know what it does behind closed doors if you don't fucking ask. You never ask. I know where she lives, and I know the house where Amanda's talking about, too. I know exactly where the fucking house is. I went up there many fucking times with 2 other women, and they picked up the little girl and went on. And you think that little girl went on back to where she's supposed to go? Fuck no. She spent more goddamn time here than you can shake a stick at. God damn, man. Some people got to get the fucking facts straight if they think like she spent a lot of time in our grace or ticket. Hell no.
Was the only shallow part of the story. But little did I know that I would soon find myself in the deep end of the pool. What we found out
there, fuck that.
This was only the beginning of a nightmare.
Yeah. Brigus, what do you think I'd never live up there?
Showing you the account we received
too much fucking drama for me, and that's why I want to stay the fuck clear of it. Hell no. I want to stay clear of Brigus. The only time I want to drive through Brigus when I'm going to St. John's, and that's enough.
Did you notice anything strange?
I don't even make that cemetery road. I don't even make eye contact to that anymore.
Or anything suspicious. The mother. Well, when we first got here, we tried to introduce ourselves to him, and he just...
I spent a lot of fucking time up there, buddy. A lot of fucking time.
And unfit to be maintaining this campground.
And Amanda, I seen you up there many times too.
Which got annoying when we were trying to enjoy the sounds of nature.
I'm not putting too much personal info about this, but I seen you in that house many, many times. And I'm sure I just shocked the crap out of you right now. Seriously, I shocked the crap out of you right now. And all I was doing, I was sitting in the back seat. I was just sat in the back seat. Like I said, the liquor brings out the truth. The liquor brings out the truth. I just didn't want to. I just didn't want to stir the shit pot. But it means that you and Living Simply is talking about this. I just wanted to bring it up.
The teenage son. I don't know if this pertains to this case, but I went.
You and Living Simply was bringing it up. I just figured, well, you know, Jesus Christ, might as well for me to throw in on it. Well, it's well for me to throw a few sticks on the fire too.
Well,
yeah.
I'm not exactly sure what it was, but someone had definitely been doing something up there. Officer Daniel.
Yeah, I seen you up there a couple of times. Many times, tell you the truth.
We found a patch of
coming out with her and everything.
Up in their branches,
yeah.
Tied it to them. In the middle of the patch of trees.
And all I was doing is just sitting in the back. That's it. Sitting on the left or right, and the car seat in the middle.
Looked to be some animal's skull.
Excuse me.
Pictures of people. I'm going to stop at this point in the interview.
Like I said, and like Amanda said, the past is the past. That's where it belongs.
What the teenage son had hiked in on was what we investigated next. By the time we were interviewing these people, search and rescue had gone out. The past is the past, and that's where it fucking belongs. They did find some random cigarette butts mixed in the dirt.
God damn, what does she want now?
A pack of them a day from the lodge. So they thought they were close to finding him. However,
I was thinking I have to block that woman.
Exactly where he went.
I was thinking to block that woman.
My partner and I were in charge of investigating the place that the teenager had described to us. When we finally found it, based on the description of how to get there from the boy, we took pictures of the area. It was a strange place, and the random pictures of people posted on the trees, all angled to where any of them could be seen if you stood in the middle of the rocks. I examined the photos, trying to see if I could recognize any of the people, when Daniel said, "Isn't that the girl that went missing in the woods last summer?" Walking over, I examined the picture, and it matched the photo of which our police department put in the newspaper, wondering if anyone had seen her around. Yeah, that's the girl, but why would someone put her picture here? It just doesn't make sense to me. You don't suppose that these are all pictures of people who have gone missing? Daniel asked as he looked around.
Yeah.
Only one way to be sure.
Like I said,
Let's take a picture
when
of
you
the
start
girl.
bringing up stuff, you don't know what, when you search that shit pot, you don't know what you're going to bring up.
Or it could just be a trophy shelf.
Maybe you're going to bring up stuff that I could shock the fucking shit out of you and you never want to do nothing with me again.
One of these trees. I
Seriously,
my stubby beard.
I'm serious.
Daniel agreed.
It's scary when you start talking about stuff and
While we sent this
like,
information
and you
in,
get some,
I decided to
and you
write
get
some
people
information
like firing
from
up.
Daniel's diary.
Oh,
It was a
Yeah.
really disturbing segment in a page from it, and it goes as follows.
yeah.
I need
When
to
you
read
stir that
some.
shit pot, buddy, I tell you,
It's following
that
me
shit
everywhere
pot
I
be
go.
stirred, and
There's no
it can tell you stuff that you might.
Anytime I feel it,
You could, I could end up telling you stuff, you know,
Nothing's
what I just said just then
People
is shot the fucking life out of you.
having the time of their lives.
Yeah, that maybe there's some stuff that you would not want to know.
This is what I couldn't understand in the man's writing at the time, was that he seemed as if someone or something was trying to get him, but there was no evidence proving that this was true. There was no the man's trailer. It was as if he just vanished without a trace. Later, Daniel and I were notified about who the pictures were of, and the answer was mind-boggling. Every single one of those
Oh,
people
my.
had gone missing in that forest area, ranging from 20 years ago all the way up to present day. Either someone was
God
found insensitive
damn.
and made this,
Yeah,
or this could be a trophy case of someone's victim.
I got a writer, I'm
These
going to say.
disappearances were all blamed on going missing in the woods. All I knew at the time was that this case was beginning to grow far past than just the simple missing person.
I know we're
One
just
person's
friends,
perspective
but
is completely different from the other, even if they are observing the same thing.
I know we're only friends, but I don't like talking to other women,
Always be prepared to know that you aren't prepared at all.
even when we're only friends. I don't like talking to other women, but god damn, man, like she won't stop.
Missing person's journal that at the time of when this occurred gave me more insight to what truly happened to him. But
Give it
still
up,
there lingers
Brittany.
a mystery in the crevices. John's journal entry months
Fuck, man,
prior
Brittany
before
won't
going
give it up.
missing. My mind spins at the possibility of what I can do now that I have finally found the ingredients needed. I write this in here as my heart races with excitement of the powers I will soon possess, on the things I'll be able to do when I gain the strength of 10 men. However, this ritual is still unclear and could backfire terribly, but I will obey the
Guys, I got 2 drinks
and not
left.
cross my boundaries or lines.
She's getting
My
low.
life depends on it. Next entry was the
Yeah,
night
she's
before he
getting
supposedly
low.
went missing. What I have done, jumping into something so stupidly, having people around, and to be caught off guard as I was. The ritual was going perfectly until that camper came to complain to me about chopping wood in the middle of the night for the fire. He slowed me down, and I wasn't able to place the piece of wood in the fire at the exact time for everything to work properly. And now I've unleashed a shadow beast into these woods. One made up of human.
Good night, living simply.
Flames who can only
Sorry to see you go, buddy, but good night. If you're feeling tired, good night. Stay safe.
Into the woods, escaping the words I tried to mutter out to cease it from existing. But now there is nothing I can do to stop it. Its hunger for a host is unquenchable. I know that soon it will come for me, but I will be the first of many. If I do not write again,
Yeah, we got 20 acres of land beyond Butlerville.
in the journal, but the last one I showed you in the
We got a
previous
lot of
page, I
land,
wrote about
20
this.
acres of land.
So further,
That's what we got beyond
these are some of the
Butlerville.
last sentences he's ever written. That thing is trying to get me, but I have no idea what it wants. It wanders close to me at night, out of sight, waiting for me to lay down my guard. But it could have got me many times already, but it hasn't. and I truly don't know why. The only thing that I can imagine is this thing wants to take over me, possessing me, and gaining complete control of my actions. Soon after, it would commit the most heinous crime.
I'm seeing a woman right now, but
if this would happen,
I'm wondering when this next time we could kick it up. When can we kick it up past friends? When can we go past the friends list?
All of those people gone because of me. And I fear that if I don't maintain that shrine, they will come back to haunt me. I have dug myself.
I'm just putting it out there, but I got so much potential out there. Like, I know we're just friends, but I'm after passing down so many women.
And can only be eliminated by fire.
I'm after passing down so many women, and because like I got one there tonight, and she is holy crap.
After reading that last sentence for the first time, my body ran cold, but my young instincts kept reminding me that most of the things that
she is like
didn't make any sense.
Like,
so
I don't know what to say, but oh my God, like, yeah. I'll let you know tomorrow who she is, and let you go. I'll just let you go see her. I'll just let you go see her profile, and you'll be like, "What the hell?" But I knew her for years. I know her for years, and I worked with her, and I went out with her before. I went out with her 3 years ago. I went out with her, and now.
All these people going missing.
Now she knows I'm friends with someone else. I'm not saying no names. Now she knows I'm friends with someone else, and now she's like video chatting me all the time.
In my entire life, I never would have thought that something this.
So, like I said, if
hometown where I spent the majority of my youth playing in the same woods.
Like I said, like if we're only just friends, like if we want to kick it up a bit, well. I don't know. I don't know what.
Among the trees. All of this seems so crazy to me at the time.
I'm in a bind right now. Don't know what to say. Don't know what to do.
Some lunatic who believes conjuring
sucks
and gaining powers through rituals and other strange things like that. Again, I was a young rookie at the time, and now I fully understand.
Because I'm in a bind right now. The woman don't tell me.
Because for all you know.
I'm in a bind right now. I don't know if I'm in a relationship or if we're just friends.
The next post will be my
and if the woman is watching right now, don't say nothing but just inbox me. Like, I don't know if I should go visit this woman because she wants to see me tonight.
Last post involving this personal story of mine. Because I've already been hearing rumors.
She'd like for me to stay at her place overnight.
Involving a case. But I'm not sure if they think it's me or someone else. The best thing for me to do is to end it here.
I don't know. I don't know what to say.
But I hope the chief from my department
I don't like.
is not reading
All I got to say, I don't like the situation I'm in. Because I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. There's so much opportunities. Like, I don't know, like.
With the days
I know I'm only single, but
showing what truly happened to this man.
Like friend, like what do a friend do? Like I know a friend is only a friend, so a friend is not what you call a relationship.
At the time, I was sick of dealing with this case, mainly because after.
Or is it? I don't know. Is it friendly relationship? I don't know. I don't like being in this situation because it fucks with my mind. And I never been in this. I never been in this crap before in my life. I never been tangled up in this shit before. Seriously, I never been tangled up in this crap before. I don't know what to do. I got a woman text me. I got a woman like would do anything for me. But I'm seeing off and on now. Like, I got a woman up the bay. I got 3 interested in me. And I'm holding them all off because I don't know what to do. I got a woman right now. I can shut this off and I'll go to her house right now.
But during their lunch break, when everyone had food,
I go carbonara and I go to her house now tonight. I don't know what to do.
Clean the rest of the area up because all of them felt uneasy being there.
It fucking sucks when you got
the light bulb
shit like hung over you. It's like you got a curtain hung over you, but you don't know what to do.
An annoying whistle, but the hairs on my neck stood up when I remember hearing the faint whistle when we were walking.
Oh my God, please do, because I don't know what to do.
This guy must have been playing tricks on us for his own amusement. He probably enjoyed seeing us get all turned around.
Please, living simply, I don't know what to do. Like,
I told Daniel my story.
Friends, like
skeptical at first.
We're only in the friend zone, like friends.
We told the chief, and he told us.
And we see very little of each other, but
watch the missing person's campsite.
Like, I don't know.
Sneaking back in the middle of the night. The deal was that if we found him, the case would be dismissed. But if we didn't see anything, the case would become cold, and all investigation involving it would be terminated.
Yeah.
We agreed and drove back to the woods to stay the night, patrolling the area.
That makes sense.
It would scar me for the rest of my life. While we were patrolling the area before the sun fully hid behind the mountains, we talked to a few of the campers staying.
See, guys, it's like this too. I got severe anxiety,
what was wrong?
And this is what brings it. This is what hypes up my anxiety, and this is why I get like I am. And then I start saying shit like I do.
Get out of here.
Exactly what exactly living simply. I know exactly what you're saying, but
especially when they were
people will never understand what severe anxiety is. People got anxiety and stress and stuff like that, but I had it all my life, and I got severe anxiety. Just Google it, how bad it can be.
I understood, and we drove to where we could see the man's camp trailer.
Just Google severe anxiety, and that's what I'm on heavy pills. I'm not on light pills. I'm on heavy pills for severe anxiety. I take them once a day, once every 24 hours. I took my pills. Alcohol do not affect my pills, but I'm on pills. Good.
I asked while stretching and letting out a yawn. It could be.
That's why. What do you think? Sometimes I just flares up and I says what I says.
That's when something snapped.
That's part of it. See, guys.
Fall from the same tree the pine cones were coming from. That has to be a bear cub or something to break a branch that big, I stated, wondering what was up there. If that's the case, then we have to get it out of the campground so it won't hurt anyone. Daniel said as he opened his side door and grabbed his heavy-duty flashlight, big enough to be considered as a weapon.
Well, I'm worse than others.
I couldn't see exactly where he was shining because I was still in the vehicle.
Well, I'm worse than others, living simply. Trust me.
Sir,
I'm after going to shrinks. I'm after being in the Waterford, so
I got out and saw where Daniel steadily held his flashlight.
Seriously. You think I'm joking? Oh, you think I'm joking? I was in the Waterford? Listen, my wrist.
To the base. He didn't move at all, but his eyes were illuminated by the flashlight.
You see my wrist? I went like this.
I won't tell you again.
Right there, right on down, and I went from there right across.
Daniel yelled with droplets of spit falling out. The man didn't respond.
I'll show you again if you didn't see it. Maybe you can see it now.
Suddenly, the man jumps from one tree to another, and that's when we noticed.
I went from there, right to there, and there.
Daniel opened fire.
And nobody can look at me and say, well, that's not anxiety. Hell no.
I followed closely behind with my
I knows what anxiety is here, buddy. Oh, trust me. I knows what anxiety is.
After him slowly, going deeper into the woods. Where did he go? I said while breathing.
Always pushed to the brink of suicide. And I literally took suicide in my hands.
He's got to be close by, Daniel stated firmly while tightening his grip on his weapon.
Trust me, and I literally took suicide in my hands, and nobody can look at me and say what stress is and anxiety is. That's why I don't like being in these situations, because I'm just straight up. I tell you like it is. I don't sugarcoat bullshit. That's why I don't sugarcoat nothing. Because if I has to keep it up here, it's not, trust me, I'll be back in St. John's. And I'm not telling you guys that, I'm not saying I'm going to be in St. John's to leave. I'll be back in the fucking Waterford if I had to hold everything up here. That's why I like to say to all my true YouTube fans, like, I like to be honest with you guys, even though if it hurts your feelings, I like to be honest, because I can't keep nothing up here. My medication, I think that's why my medication does that, because it opens up like my mind, and just my medication, it just opens up whatever is in my mind. It just leaps out whatever. Like I did tonight, I spoke about something tonight that probably I shouldn't did, but was up in Briggish, but
started to move and stare at
that's just what I said.
Not looking behind me, I grabbed Daniel's arm and quickly yanked him towards where we came from.
Oh, living simply, I will be gladly to see that, me buddy.
What are you doing? We can't just leave him here. Not knowing what to do, I looked back at Daniel.
I'd be gladly to go and see that.
There's something right behind you, I screamed, trying to pull my weapon that seemed stuck in its holster. Daniel then said, turning around, "What do you mean there's something?" As he looked behind him, the figure stayed still. Daniel drew his weapon and looked back at me, and I could sense fear in his eyes. The man on the ground began muttering nonsense words, which seemed to anger this thing, which suddenly disappeared.
Fucking finger, man, is killing me. God damn, that's hurting.
Daniel looked at me.
Holy fuck. I'm not doing nothing. I'm not doing nothing. I'm only like wiggling. I'm moving my full finger. I'm not moving the part that got crushed.
We got on the radio.
That's hurting a lot. I didn't hit it.
They seemed in disbelief. As we got back,
I didn't hit my finger, or I didn't smack it.
Dark suits that interviewed us on what exactly happened. And once it was over, they made us promise not to tell anyone else.
I got one more drink.
After posting this,
after that,
I guess I just broke down. It is what it is. Later, I found out they closed the campground down, saying that it needed to be refurbished. And soon after, there was a mysterious fire that swept the area, burning everything.
Oh my!
In the newspaper, it was blamed
on
a cigarette that was tossed into a dry grass field. I knew that that was a lie, and that there was an intentional burning. The fire was meant to eliminate that.
Yeah, nobody, like, I'm sure people got stressed, but I took it to the next. I'm sure people got stressed, but I took it to the next level, which I shouldn't have did, but I was just so stressed over everything. Oh my God.
Since I was last there, and I will
unbelievable.
Some places need to be avoided the same way. Some things don't need to be understood. I will finish by saying that if you see a campsite closed and it says that there's maintenance going on, don't believe it. For all you know, there could be another beast lurking in the mist. Be safe out there.
Okay.
I'm a 17-year-old guy, currently living in Phoenix, Arizona. This incident took place around 6 months ago on an overnight trip into the Superstition Mountains, which are about an hour drive east of Phoenix. I'm not going to specify the exact trail because I've been doing this stuff long enough to realize what happens when you post stuff on the internet. Whether it's a good trail, abandoned mine, ghosts, or whatever it may be, people come flocking, and usually with a lot of trash and loud music. Anyway, this particular trail I was taking was an 8-mile loop through a canyon. Pretty simple in and out overnight trip. I had planned to go with my friend, but a last-minute cancel on his part left me on my own. So, with a packed bag and my car ready to go, I decided to go on my own. Not leaving the house on time, and some trouble navigating rough forest roads, I didn't arrive at the trailhead until around 5:45, which, for those of you who don't backpack, This is a very big no-no. I had about a 4-mile hike until I arrived at my planned camping spot. And it was getting dark fast, so I figured if I moved quick enough, I could get at least 2 to 3 miles in before I had to find a spot. This strategy left me hiking a very dark trail on my own, with about 15 miles of dirt road between me and anyone else. Hiking in the dark by itself is scary, especially for where I was and being on my own. Eventually, it got so dark I could only see where my headlamp was pointing, and that's when I figured I needed to stop and get my camp set
No,
up.
my.
Only using the headlamp as my light source and trying to move fast, I ended up in a less than ideal spot. There was some burnt pieces of wood and the remains of a fire circle, so it looked like people had been there before, but definitely not
Well,
recently.
you
My
notice I
first
can't
priority
write
was to get a
because
fire going.
my cell
I
phone
scanned
just
the area
died.
around me and was able to find some dry wood.
My cell phone just died, but I'm sure you're watching on live.
Cracked open a can of chili mac I had brought for myself, and
But-
was very much looking forward to eating.
Eh,
I was feeling good. My camp was set up, and my food was on the fire. The feeling of uneasiness from the hike in had almost gone away.
I didn't want to stir the shit
A
pot.
side effect of
That's
camping
all.
alone in remote areas. To fully understand what happened, I have to explain how my camp was set up.
I didn't want to go
The site
stirring
I had
any
picked
shit
was a
pot.
small clearing surrounded by large pine trees, with the trail about 30 feet to my left. There was a small circle of light from my fire,
Huh?
and everything past it
What'd she say
was
to
pitch
you?
black. I was sitting on the ground near my fire, eating my dinner, when a small rock about the size of a marble was
What'd she
thrown
say
into
to
my
you?
path.
Don't
I
message
looked at the
me
tiny
on.
rock in shock. As I was
Don't
positive
message
I was
me
the
on
only
here.
person
Just
on the trail
message
that
me
night. I
on
immediately turned
Facebook.
my
I'm
light
reading
at
it,
least
but I'm
toward
not
the
reading it
area
out
where I had
loud.
seen the rock come from.
Uh,
Due to the density of the
excuse
pines and
me.
brush, I could only see about 10 feet. I spent the next 15 minutes in disbelief as I scanned the tree line that surrounded me, searching for what or whoever had thrown the rock, not daring to stray too far from my fire. After
That's
sitting
why
back down
I'm
and
reading
spending the
in
rest
my
of my
mind,
time
not
on how I
reading it
looked,
out loud.
I was able
Hell
to
no.
convince myself that I had somehow kicked the rock, or it had fallen from a tree. That night, I awoke to the sound of rustling leaves, barely audible, but still there. I was still in a sleepy daze as I listened. The rustling of leaves got harder to
Strange,
hear,
some women, you
and I
know,
assumed
like
they were moving
when
away
they
from
see,
me.
it's like,
I went to grab my handheld flashlight that I had left next to me when I had fallen asleep, but I soon came to realize that it was no longer there. I stood up in my sleeping bag and ducked out of the tarp and looked around. I was able to see a light off in the woods.
like it's strange,
It
like
couldn't have been more than 15
some
feet away.
some women, you know, when they see you happy,
Laying on the ground
like,
with a pile of leaves.
happy with another woman, they
Flashlight
tries
was left
to
sitting right next to me when I
start
had fallen
stuff.
asleep a few hours ago.
Can I get an amen for that?
15 feet away from me.
It's true though, what I'm saying.
I quickly slipped my boots, clutched my knife in the other hand, and keeping my head on a swivel, I weighed my options. Stay here and wait out the night, or attempt the 3-mile hike back to the car in the dark. I figured that whatever, or whoever was out there with me, was definitely going to have a better advantage if I was on the trail without a light. I decided to stay at the camp and waited out the night there. Eventually, it came back. I could hear it walking through the woods. It was far off, but I could hear it. It sounded like someone was leisurely walking by, like they were on a stroll without a care in the world. Sometimes it would walk far away, and I would lose the sound of its steps, but then it would return, still faint as ever. This went on for about 3 or 4 hours, until the steps got closer and closer. Now they were about 7 feet from me. At this point, the fire had become very small, as I had run out of wood in my pile. The footsteps stopped, and everything went totally silent. I sat there still for 2 hours, clutching my knife in my hand and praying I wouldn't hear anything else. I stayed like that until the sun cast enough light that I could see that I was alone in my campsite. I packed my things and speed walked the 3 miles down the trail I had taken. I arrived at the empty dirt road where my car was parked. I nearly sprinted to my Subaru as I unlocked it, jumped in and drove, not stopping until I had put at least 20 miles between me and that place. I ended up in a gas station in Apache Junction to buy some Red Bull, but mostly just to see and or talk to another person. As I exited the store, I was able to read something that was written in the dust on the back window of my car. It said, "Sleep well." This story happened during my teenage years, at 15 or 16 years old. I lived in a small town of 2,000 people, mainly surrounded by boreal forest, in a region of Quebec, Canada. This place was great, as we often saw deer, and it was usually a quiet and safe place. To give a bit of context, my house was located at the end of a dead-end street, and the only light source at night was my house's. There was a single street light at the end of the road, but it only lit up part of the street and the forest behind it. We were a dog family. I only had small dogs when I lived there. Every day we needed to let them out to pee, as all dogs do, but at night they were almost impossible to see because of the darkness. Our terrain was kind of big, and the light sources were weak. I was a gamer at the time, and I was often up late, so I was the one who needed to take the dog out to pee at 2 a.m. because it stayed with me while I was playing. One night, I opened the door and waited for my dog to do his thing. While trying to look at it, I was only able to see the reflection of the light in its eyes when it looked at me. I started to look around, because there were sometimes deer sleeping in the woods under the streetlight, or wild turkeys roaming around, when a little dark spot caught my attention. It looked like a human head coming out of the bushes, but I wasn't able to see it because it was a bit in the dark. I don't want my dog to run after whatever it was. It had a tendency to run after wild animals, so I called to it. It didn't listen to me, but the thing in the bushes started to crawl towards the street, slowly. It looked like a human, with thin limbs and a normal body, and a slightly long neck. I started to freak out a bit and shook the treats cup so my dog would hurry. It came inside running, and I shut the door as fast as I could. I turned off the lights in my house so I could have a view of what was outside. The strange animal crawled fast, almost running like a dog with every limb broken, as an improvised crawling movement. The animal passed under the light, where I saw it had no fur, like a shaved animal. It was disgusting. I was afraid and standing in the dark. The animal ran towards the light and continued on the street, where I wasn't able to see it because the houses in my neighborhood were surrounded by trees. I locked the door and went to sleep with my dog. I talked to nobody about it. A couple months later, I went to bed kinda early, 11 p.m., and went to watch some videos on my phone. They were gaming videos, and I had earphones on. A sound on the video was recurring, and I thought it was annoying, like a distant, weird scream. After a couple minutes, the video finished, and I went to see another. But during the loading, a sound occurred. I took my earphones off and waited for the sound. I heard it, and immediately had tears in my eyes. It was coming from my window. My room was at the second floor, so I looked down in the forest to see if there was some movement. The only light near the forest entrance was the moonlight and an underwater light in our pool that emitted a small halo around it. I wasn't able to see anything, but the sound occurred again. It was like a mix between a distorted scream and a pig having its throat slit, or a strong pain whining from a dog. I looked down and saw an animal that passed so fast that it was hard to really see, but I barely saw a human-sized animal with limbs crawling like a spider. It wasn't running after anything, but the sound occurred another time. It was the most horrible thing I ever heard. I closed my window to choke a bit by the sound of it. I heard it again 3 other times, and it stopped after that. I talked to my dad about the sound, and he told me it was probably a deer being attacked by a wild animal. I was so scared of it, I barely walked in the woods at night the 3 following years, before moving in a city to go at a university. Even to this day, I never heard of an animal like that. And it made me really doubt my mental health at the time, because I had PTSD from a dog attack mid-middle school, and I sometimes had light hallucinations when I gamed for too long, like a black shadow that disappears immediately, or things like that. There were barely any reports of wolves, coyotes, or bears in my area, and believe me, I made a lot of discoveries exploring the forest in this town. I am posting this because I am truly out of options. My employers refuse to take my reports and have even threatened termination of my contract if I bring these events back to the table again. The local authorities are dismissive.
I gotta go pee again. I'll be right back.
Substance abuse and mental instability. I can't even tell my own family, lest they draw the same conclusions. I wouldn't want to drag them into this anyway. Hopefully, some of you can help me, or at least help me understand what's going on. I have worked as a forester in the Appalachia for a logging company that will go unnamed for nearly a decade now. In that time, I have come to love my job, the woods, and the freedom that accompanies both. But things have started to change with my most recent assignment. The woods used to feel so safe, so clean. Now I can't stop my hands from shaking when I stand beneath the green canopy. So we're all on the same page. I'll walk you through the field work of my profession. First, the company assigns me to a tract of land they have recently acquired. I do some less exciting prep work in the office, satellite imaging, GIS, property analysis, etc. And then I head out into the field. Generally, the sites are pretty far from the office, requiring multiple hour drives and overnight camping. I bring along some simple gear, tape measures, manual clinometer and altimeter, bright neon orange, marking spray paint, and my GPS transmitter and marker. All in all, a bunch of technical nonsense that lets me determine the value of trees, which should be logged, and which should be left behind to ensure no permanent damage is done to the forest. Simple enough. It was early morning on September 21st, 2019, when my office desktop pinged that I had an incoming email. Seeing that it was an assignment from corporate, I opened it up and nearly let out a cheer in my cubicle. The tract that I had been assigned was a huge patch of old-growth forest, located near the Monongahela National Forest in West Virginia. For those of you who don't know, an old-growth forest is a wooded area that has not been disturbed for hundreds of years, allowed to grow and develop in its natural state without intervention by farming, construction, or logging. Many old-growth forests haven't been touched since the settlers arrived, and some even before then. In any case, this was cause for celebration. Old growth is increasingly rare and amazingly beautiful, and I was the one assigned to explore it. Of course, this was bittersweet, seeing as I would be the last to see it in its undespoiled state before I gave the go-ahead. I spent the morning in my office, packing my things and loading them into the tiny white Ford Ranger, lovingly
in the middle of nowhere
that the company had provided to me when I started working for them. She was a rugged little thing, having carried me through the mountains for almost a decade.
Kimberly, in the middle of nowhere. Oh my God.
Without her quirks.
Kimberly, you got me and you got your man.
Tailgate, and an AC since 2011.
You're not in the middle of nowhere, my ducky.
Piper and I set out around noon, making good time.
You're not in the middle of nowhere. I'm still here.
Virginia. We arrived at the old trailhead that would deliver me to
I'm still here.
late into the afternoon. As I strapped my heavy backpack on and locked Piper up for her stay at the edge of the woods, I breathed deeply, taking in the heavy scent of the forest earth and the sound of the wind and birdsong through the treetops. Giving my truck a pat on the hood, I turned and made my way off the country road and onto the narrow dirt track that wound into the woods. The hike to the old-growth stand of trees took about an hour of brisk trekking, the path becoming more and more overgrown as I progressed. It was obvious this trail hadn't been consistently used for years, probably decades. Nearly to my destination, I happened across what should have been the first sign that something was not right. An ancient sycamore tree stood in the center of the path. Had it been any other species, I would have sidestepped and kept plugging ahead, but sycamores had always been my favorite trees, so I looked upwards to admire the old beauty. About 12 feet off the ground, twisted and woven through the tangle of white-barked branches, was a decomposing skeleton of a deer. Scraps of fur and mummified tendons, the only things holding it together, as it dangled from the tree. I gasped and stepped back from the initial shock, the staring skeletal visage of the old deer being the last thing I expected to see. My first thought was a mountain lion or a similar predator had hauled the animal up
Mountain
there
lion.
to feast upon.
God damn.
Carnivores like that were pretty rare in the area, but I had guessed it wasn't entirely out of the question. But my confusion spiked, and the rumblings of dread gestated in my gut when I looked a bit closer. It was difficult to tell, due to the distance from the forest floor and the amount of time the deer had been up there. But as I
Ooh.
squinted, I started to notice something haunting. The decrepit animal remains were not simply jumbled up in the tree branches. They were lashed into place by scraps of rope and cloth. Someone had hauled the deer 12 feet up in the sycamore tree.
Oh,
Tied its
God.
legs and joints so it would stay suspended up there. Directly beneath the nearly completely rotted animal, barely visible due to age, was carved a simple O, presumably put onto the bark by whoever took the time to create this macabre installation. I was understandably shocked and confused by this discovery, but the apparent age of the carving and carcass eased my worries a little.
Okay.
Whoever had done this obviously done their work months ago. I resolved that until I happened across fresher work, I was unlikely to run into anyone else out here in the woods. Having reassured myself for the moment and excited to lay eyes on the rare old growth, I carried on down the trail towards my destination. I reached the edge of my assigned stand around 6:30 at night. The old, ill-maintained trail terminating in a small clearing on the border of the forest I hiked through, and the secluded acres of old growth that waited beyond. I gazed, awestruck, at what waited for me. Ancient tree trunks that soared stories high, capped with dense foliage that cast the groves beneath the placid twilight. One of the defining features of old growth is the lack of understory. Smaller plants robbed of the sunlight by the canopy above. This means that you can see much further than you could in a different forest, where brush and vines might block your view. In the old growth ahead of me, I could see deep into the canopy shaded woods, darkness enveloping the trees that grew and twisted in gnarled shapes. Ancient beings shaped by countless years into warped and beautiful lines.
That's all
I
left.
was nearly overtaken by the sight, a view so few people are able to look upon in this modern
Ow,
age.
fucking finger.
Even though I was nearly shaking with excitement to explore the acre's large stand of forest ahead of me, I knew that daylight would not last much longer. I would have to push off starting my work until
Holy
the next
fuck,
day,
that's a strong one.
working quickly to pitch my tent and create a small stone ring to
Hey, buddy,
fireplace
pitch a tent.
before nightfall overtook my new campsite. The first night on the edge of the old growth forest was so quiet, as I lay tightly wrapped in my sleeping bag, staring up
Bag. He said bag.
my tent and the stars above. I heard almost none of the sounds one might expect from camping deep in the woods. No night birds called, no insects buzzed. The only sounds were the rushing of the wind through the leaves, and once a mournful sound of an owl hooted somewhere within the ancient grove beyond the camp. I sat there awake in eerie silence for nearly the entire night, partially perturbed by the quiet, but mostly entranced by the beauty of the starlit sky, filled with excitement for the day to. I eventually drifted off to sleep around 2 a.m. At 5:30 in the morning, I was awoken by the electronic chirping of my watch alarm, signaling the start of my day. Groggily sitting up, I immediately regretted not forcing myself to sleep earlier, yanking the zipper of my tent flap and exposing myself to the chill morning. I rose to a stoop and began to exit my tent. As my head left the tent, I stopped, frozen and staring.
Right side.
Down the
Ooh,
barrel
right
of a
side popped
pump-action
in.
shotgun, clutched in the hands of a middle-aged bearded man. He wore old flannel and denim, a stained old baseball cap over the mop of gray hair. His face was
No, no,
cracked
no,
and
no.
scarred,
Don't click on my
intricate
side.
wrinkles,
Oh, no,
details
no,
so
no, no,
aching
no, no.
endured by a man
Don't click on
who
my
spent his
side.
life outdoors.
Okay. Woo.
His gray eyes squinted as he met
Oh
my
my
shocked
God.
gaze, lowering the gun. Well, crap. I'm sorry, son. I didn't expect anybody. What do you mean you didn't expect anybody? I asked, anger boiling to the surface.
Ooh, I thought I was clicked on right side at the time. I would have got copyright so much.
Why
Oh my
wouldn't there be
God.
anybody here? His calm face didn't
Excuse
change from
me.
its stony demeanor.
It is so weird. I can play this old shit.
No harm, no foul.
I can play this shit. I won't get copyright.
Irritatingly dismissive of
I'm gonna play music.
a loaded gun.
I get copyright like you wouldn't believe.
Moments ago. He slung the weapon over his shoulder and extended a hand to help me out of my tent. Most tents you find up here are empty. It took a moment for what he had said to sink in. What do you mean? Like people come up here and dump their trashed old equipment? Disappointment began to brew as the thought of the old growth, filled with trash, entered my mind. Nah, son, nothing like that. Just exactly what I said. The tents you find up here are always empty.
No, I don't want drama either, but
Randy Davidson. This plot.
I don't want drama either, but I never meant. I never meant any.
Was thick and slow.
I never meant as long as 2 months ever without.
Grandpa sold it to National.
I never meant as long as 2 months ever without sex.
I furrowed my brow. Not only.
And I can get it just. Well, proof is in the pudding. I can get it just like that, but I want to know, like.
So is that why you go?
I want to know, is we just friends or more than that? Because if we're only just friends,
unimpressed.
I can check someone else up.
Look, boy, all I'm gonna say is you better watch.
Not because I want drama. I don't want drama. I don't want that shit. But a man got needs too. You got to understand what I'm saying, where it comes from. A man got needs, like just like a woman. Same thing as a woman.
Just watched him go. Was that a warning or a threat?
I'm not double downing on. I'm not gonna double down on. No, I'm not one side. I'm not double downing on one side. I'm just saying both sides is equal. Like a man got just as much needs as a woman do. Like I'm just saying.
Then, pack filled and secured, I stepped beyond the edge of the grove. The old growth was breathtaking. Ancient trees surrounded me as I walked.
I'm just saying, like a man got needs as well as a woman can, and
cluttered the ground.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Thick sheets of soggy moss. The dense cover of leaves above cast the
Holy
huge
fuck, that's
stand
a strong
in the
one.
hall of cool shade. The heavy earthy scent of loamy earth and wet woods.
But if we're more than just friends, just let me know. But if we're just friends, well, I know where to go from there on.
Utterly gorgeous surroundings. The noise I made was the only sound that echoed through the ancient woods around me.
Tom, I guess a message to say that we're just friends.
I identified species, measured trunk diameters, calculated height.
Like, I want to know, like, just flattered, are we just friends, or
dang, I thought to myself,
or what? I don't know. I got to know, like, this woman is letting, like,
old growth alone would likely net the company.
that other woman is messaging me, and yeah.
Place not been logged yet. With a metallic rattle and aerosol hiss, I marked the trees that would be best harvested with my flagging paint. With the forest floor so clear of undergrowth, the bright orange X's I sprayed on the tree trunks could be seen in the distance in every direction.
I don't want drama. I don't want drama too, but I just want to know, like,
it felt strange to be.
I don't want drama in my life, but I just want to know, like, just
after 4 p.m.
no beating around the bush. Are we just friends? Like, if we're just friends, that's a clear goal for me. Like, okay, I can go for yada yada. Like,
I had nearly finished marking.
That's not saying that I'm in a relationship. If I'm in a relationship, I won't do nothing.
As I rounded
Plain
the
and simple.
trunk of an old
It's that simple to ask. It's so simple to ask that
sitting in the middle
question.
of a tiny clearing, shaded by dark leaves above, was the rusted hulk of an old RV. The paint was chipped and peeled away, almost to the point of non-existence.
Not saying if
Though there was
the
still
look is
enough
in
to
your
make out
face
the
or
dust
this or
and
that or
filth
this or
of the
that.
vehicle.
Just a simple
The
question.
tires were flat.
All I'm asking is a simple
Layers of
question.
rubber draped over rusted hubcaps. Moss grew over the windows of the abandoned vehicle. At least the glass hadn't been shattered and dropped away.
I don't know how to
Inside
take
were
stuff
hung
like
open
any
failing
other
hinges,
men do. Like
revealing
you
nothing but
guys got to
empty
understand. Like
I slowly
I don't know.
approached the
You
derrick.
guys got to understand
With
too. I
moss
don't
and
know how to
leaves
take.
squelching under my boots.
I don't know how to
How did this
understand
thing get down here?
stuff like other men
There's no
do.
way
Like I
it could have
just
driven down
knows
the
how to do
steps
what I
of the
like to
valley.
do.
And there weren't any signs that it had fallen or crashed down there, besides the ravages of time.
I just
The old
knows
RV
what to do,
seemed
what I like to do.
undamaged.
It's either relationship, yes or no. Plain and simple. No beating around the fucking bush about it. Like I said to everybody in chat, I'm a straightforward guy. It's either yes or no. Like, what is it? Like,
Spurred by curiosity, I clicked my flashlight.
god damn, man.
Stepped
Not
on
all
board
this
the old
complicated
RV
shit
through the
and
broken door.
I write the book about it. Yes or no?
As a twisted spring shifted for the first
I don't
time
want to.
in what
I don't want to go
direction
cheating
went.
on a woman that.
I threw a glance
I don't want to go cheating on a woman that I'm already seeing, but I know we're only just friends. But baby, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do.
Particularly hidden by gnarled trunks.
I'm sure any woman or man watching me now will understand where I'm coming from.
Even with the gloomy daylight filtering through the small sections of broken windows, the stark white beam of my flashlight cut through the darkness. A circle of vision.
Any man out there would know where I'm coming from. You all got, everybody got needs.
The cabin of the vehicle was almost empty. Driver and passenger seats devoured down to.
I got 2 months, man. Dry. Nothing, only doing that.
The steering column. The cup holders held.
And I can get, like,
the words.
Fuck. Not because she only wants sex. The fact is, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
I turned my face to the main living space of the old wreck. Silence thick on the air, and only cut through by the creaks of the moldering floor beneath me. The built-in couch here had also suffered the same fate as the cabin seats, devoured by rats and insects searching for a nest. Cupboards hung open near the low ceiling, cardboard boxes of food within, reduced to pulp and slurry by years of exposure. I shone my needle of light across the room, noticing the narrow door at the rear. It hung barely ajar, a crack of darkness, presumably leading to the RV's bedroom. As I stepped closer, a stench of mildew and wet dirt grew almost overpowering.
Ew.
With a groan of
mildew and wet dirt? What the fuck is he? He must be living in a barn.
My flashlight beam settled on what waited beyond the doorway. Shocked, my breaths came quick and shallow as I took in the sight. The room held a bed, mattress and blankets untouched by foraging pests, but stained a deep black brown by mold and who knows what else.
Deep black brown with mold.
Gathered from a suitcase haphazardly left to rot on the floor around the bed. The clothes were stained the same shade as the foul mattress. I could make out at least 4 distinct sizes of clothing in the pile. 2 adults and 2 children. The stink of rotting vegetation was unimaginable. My hands shook, bobbing my light as they did so. As I gazed at the top of the pile, atop the wet heap of moldy old clothing was a dripping carcass of a deer, broken and twisted at unnatural angles to allow the decaying thing to be propped up in a pose like a man sitting cross-legged. Its head was bowed towards me, what was left of the meat blackened by rot. Its eyes had long since gone, leaving empty black sockets
Okay.
to the dark.
Well,
the cluster of
that's all I wanted to do. That's all I want to know.
That this was merely the most recent animal left there. The next in a long line of deer propped up in this mess. Despite the dribbling animal wreckage before me, there was no smell of rotting, just the only wretched and overpowering odor of composting vegetation and decomposing fungus.
Only 12:43. Holy crap, that's it?
To the door behind me, as I stuck my head and shoulders outside and prepared to retch. My eyes laid
But
upon
guys, I must go. Alright?
orange of my marking paint, sprayed at haphazard and dissonant angles as I had wandered the valley, all faced towards me in uniform stares. Every X I had painted down there looked towards me.
Well, guys,
cutting through the
I was
forest
just
like
told.
electric eyes. The remainder of the food left my stomach, replaced by ice.
I was just told as a friend, but
vomited messily upon the moss.
alright guys, I must go.
Leaning from
I'll
inside
see you
the
later.
mountain,
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
I wiped the tears from my eyes.
Love you all.
Rotting wood still clogged my nostrils.
Bye.
I stared at the splatter of fresh vomit below me, attempting to comprehend what I was looking at. The steamy bile